Good morning, Forever. Welcome to our October Roadshow. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Bob Parker. I'm the country manager for Forever Living Products here in the UK. I also have responsibility for Ireland and for Iceland, and it's my pleasure to open our Christmas themed webinar here today. A little bit of snow coming down there in the holding slide, which is a little bit of a contrast as I look outside of my window here in Warwickshire, and we've actually got a sunny day here. So wherever you are, and whether you're in the UK, Ireland, or in other parts of the world, because I know from our previous webinars, we have people logging on from all around the Forever planet. You're all very welcome. We've got a fantastic day lined up for you that's going to be focused on Christmas, particularly the opportunity between now and Christmas for us to share our amazing products with our customers and find new customers, and also of course between now and Christmas an opportunity to share our business opportunity with people in our communities. And I can't help but think that we are not in the best place at the best time. Whilst our planet is struggling with the coronavirus pandemic, which has meant that very many people's livelihoods have been damaged, I have to say that we've had in the last few months a great deal of interest in our business opportunity and in our products. So for those of us involved in the Forever community, this is a very exciting period. And traditionally, in more normal times, the period between now and Christmas has always been a significant part of our calendar. So I can see lots of you on the line this morning. If anybody wants to send any messages, just type things into the Q&A box and we'll do our best to answer you. I can see Julie Brown's just left a message to say hello from sunny Sussex. So hello, Julie, welcome to you this morning. So from me, just a quick intro this morning before I introduce you to our MC for the day. And the day will then go on with a great range of speakers. But for me this morning, just a little operational update to tell you how we're doing and what the situation is, particularly within the Forever UK business. We are still working from home, very much following the government's guidelines. Although our two product centres, one in London and the one attached to our office in Warwick, are open for the collection of orders. But all of our facilities remain closed in terms of you as FBOs being able to use them. Our staff are primarily working from home, but some of us are going into the office in Longbridge, all socially distanced, and we've got all the procedures in place to make sure that we're as secure as we can be. And over the next months, that's how we plan to still operate our business. We're very pleased to report that through the supply chain of Forever, have had no major COVID incidents. We've had a couple of staff members that have had COVID, thankfully only a very mild version. And so touch wood, we're in good shape all the way through the supply chain, through Aloe Vera of America, through Forever Direct, and into our home offices. I've got some great messages on the screen this morning from a very wet Norfolk, from Colorado, very dark. Yes, it's 2 a.m. Congratulations to you, Tracy, for being online. You're up nice and early this morning. From Germany, we've got somebody, North Wales. Oh, Lenny's telling us missing our old times. Oh, yeah, me too, Lenny. Ordinarily, we would be on stage, probably at the Rico Arena now, with a great deal of energy. And we're hoping that we manage to get that energy across to you today in your homes. Good morning to Marie in Cheltenham. Good morning to you too. Oh, somebody in the Netherlands too. Welcome to you, Linda Borska. I've probably done a terrible job of that name, Linda. I apologise. My Dutch is not what it should be, but welcome to you this morning. So operationally, we're in good shape. Product supply wise, we are in good shape. We're planning now for a strong end to the year. We've got lots of Zoom webinars organised for you. We want to bring a lot of Christmas spirit in, a lot of motivation, and we really want to help support each and every one of you in the Forever community. You know, I don't underestimate how difficult it is for all of us to remain positive in these times. You know, when we turn on the news in any of our countries or read the newspaper in any of our countries, it is very much focused on COVID. It's a little bit doom and gloom. Here in the UK, we now have a tiered lockdown system with degrees of freedom in that system. So it's hard to stay positive, but I can promise you that we will work our way through this as nations. and eventually the world will return to a more normal place. And I think, you know, we are very fortunate, those of us who are full-time in Forever, to have that opportunity still to be able to provide for our families. And that's been reflected in our sales over the past months. I've got some quick numbers for you here. I'm going to have to refer to them. My memory is not what it was, but in the UK over the last quarter, I mean, we're up substantially this year, probably close to 10% up overall this year, but in the last quarter, our July sales were 22% above July 2019. In Ireland, it was 27% above the same month last year. In August, 26% above August last year and 19% above August last year in Ireland. In UK in September, 31% up on the previous September and 23% up in Ireland versus the previous September. So we're looking in great shape as we head into we're already into the last quarter. Recruitment wise, we've already sponsored or recruited more people in 2020 than we did in the whole of 2019, and most months our recruitment is running at 100% above what it was in the same month in the previous year. So it's a really exciting place to be. I want to thank each and every one of you for the great messages that you continue to send the staff. The staff are working really hard, as they always do. They're being as creative as they always are, and I'm really thankful to all the guys and girls who work for Forever in Ireland, and also for guys and girls, of course, who work for us here in the UK. They do an absolutely amazing job. So we managed to get this morning a little special intro for all of you tuned in, and that intro is a short message of encouragement from our Executive Vice President for Global Sales, Aidan O'Hare, and also from our President, of course, the son of Rex Morn, Greg Morn. So if it's Sam or Ruth on the line with me this morning, I don't know who's working the technology, but if we could see the video, please.
Well, hi, everybody. Thank you for letting us join your online, digital, virtual Success Day. My name's Aidan O'Hare. I'm here with our president, Mr. Greg Morn, and we've been asked to share just a few thoughts about the end of the year. Can you believe that?
I cannot. Here we are at the end of a really crazy year, right?
Yeah.
Incredible what's happened in 2020, and I think most of us are excited that the year's coming to a close for several reasons. Maybe a little bit of bad and crazy and all the incredible, crazy stuff out there. But I think a lot of people are happy because they're looking back going, wow, I've achieved some unbelievable results, even though we've had all these issues out there. And that's exciting. What an incredible business.
I know. I was going to ask you a little bit about that, because just like each one of you, where were we when it was March, wasn't it, when they said that the governor came out and said, hey,
close it down.
We're closing down our business. And we never heard that. It was completely unprecedented that we don't want you to go to work anymore. We want you to stay at home. And we were like thinking about all of you. And imagine at that time getting to here we are at the beginning of the fourth quarter, looking back. Could we have ever imagined it would have worked out like this?
No, not at all. I mean, unfortunately, I was thinking the worst.
Me too. Yeah.
You know, that we couldn't get product out anymore, and FBOs couldn't be ordering, getting their 4CCs. I mean, there's a lot of bad things going through my mind. But you know what? We fought hard. I know Gary and his team and all of us here, you know, we're looking at all the options, making sure that we could keep that product flowing. But the most important thing to me was the incredible effort and
creativity,
work and creativity that we saw coming from all the FBOs around the world. And just want to thank you guys again for never giving up. And not just for yourselves and for the benefits that you got, but for what you did for all the people in your downlines and people around you. You honestly gave them hope through a really tough time. There's still a lot of people out there that are going through a tough time. And thankfully here in Forever, you know, we've been blessed and we've been able to move on. And that's the message that we can give to those people who are going through a hard time. So there's still a lot of work to do.
Oh, yeah. And as we look back, just think about the stages of, and you guys have experienced the same thing as, like you said, Gary's team, and we had to work towards getting the essential label onto our product movement. And so we're grateful for all of the investment that you and Rex have made to put in our own supply chain, really, you know, and that uninterrupted supply of product was a primary focus I know that you had. We know it's not been perfect, and we've seen some issues with product supply around the world, but in general, the guys and girls that work in that have done extremely well, and that's amazing to see.
And you know what our big challenge is right now?
Yeah.
Keeping up with the demand. Isn't that incredible to even be able to say that?
I know. The raw material dates getting longer and all of that, you know. And I remember, and talking about creativity and innovation, I remember talking to our friends over in Romania, Gabor and Dora, and they called and said, we have to close the product center and we have to move everything online. And I think this was the end of March. And by the beginning of April, they had moved the entire operation online. And I remember they said that in one day they had to work with 400 FBOs to teach them what their passwords were.
Wow.
Now, Romania is higher in volume than they were this time last year. And that's because of the creativity.
And all online.
All on 100% online.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You know, and you think about all over Africa. You know, and we've learned, even to some places, we were talking to some great friends of ours from the Democratic Republic of Congo recently, that they still have issues with connectivity because Wi-Fi is so expensive. And say they've now moved to be doing conference calls and voicemail blasts to help build their business. And their businesses are responding remarkably to that. Malaysia's up over 100%, and they had to go from 100% in-person product centers to about probably 60 or 70% online. This is the kind of innovation we're seeing in forever. And it's just amazing to see that. Now, here we are, Greg, the fourth quarter, and it's great to see all that's happened. What are you thinking about as we as a company move into this last 3 months of the year?
Well, I mean, the obvious thing is chairman's bonus and the global rally incentive, and just finishing the year strong. And you know, you and I played a little bit of football in our youth, right? And I can just, every time I get to the end of something, I can hear that coach yelling fourth quarter. And that means we're in the last part of the game, fourth quarter, 2-minute drill, right? There's 2 minutes left in the game. And that's when you give your heart and you pour all your energy into what you're doing. And that is the hardest thing to do because you're tired. You've already done this whole game, right? So we've done this whole year. We've fought, we've worked hard, and a lot of people decide it's vacation time. I just want to kick my feet up and relax. But this is the time where you put in your heart and soul and you work the hardest, because that's when you're going to see the greatest benefits of all the efforts you've done throughout the year. That's when it multiplies. That's when it becomes even bigger than what you imagined maybe it would be. So right now it's go full steam ahead. Don't stop. Continue to recruit. Continue to do your meetings. Continue to motivate. Continue to keep your eye on your 2020 goals.
Right.
What were your 2020 goals? Think back, look back. Remember where you're at. Track everything that you're doing and make sure that you're on track to complete chairman's bonus, if that's what your goal was, to complete global rally incentive, to make sure that you end up, maybe you're fighting for GLT right now to get to, we got a few of them really close, you know. And an interesting thing Nick and I were just talking about is every year we get to January 3rd, 4th, we get the reports, we look, and we're amazed that there's someone that's at 2,488 cases and they didn't make it to 2,500, what, you know, or whatever that case may be. Don't sell yourself short. Make sure you understand where you need to be and make sure you make it past that mark. Don't stop right at the finish line. You can have one of the best years ever in 2020, but you got to push hard right now. Now's the time to do it.
Oh, that's a great observation. And one of the things that I've been thinking about too is a lot of these guys now are seeing a second wave of this pandemic.
Yeah.
And I know that's tiring.
It is.
I know. I was just talking to my mom this morning, and she lives in England, and they've said there's a chance they're going to be locked down for another couple months. And she was frustrated, and I can hear that, and she's tired, and it's easy to quit at that point. But just like Greg's saying, this is the moment where you separate yourself from the crowd, because the rest of the crowd are going to sit by and say, I wonder what the government's going to give me. I wonder what I can get out of this scenario. I wonder what's going to be coming to me. Our invitation to you is you go out and get it. We have a business that enables you to have access to great product, to have access to an opportunity that can provide financial security, an opportunity that you can help others with, and you can do it all from your own home. You can do it all from your safe, socially distant space. This is a great opportunity for you now to reach deep within you and say, I'm gonna leverage these opportunities. And like Greg said, this fourth quarter, and we're not talking about soccer, we should remind them of that, right? Okay. We're talking about football, American football, and that game is won or lost with inches. The whole purpose and idea of that game is to move the ball inches, inches, inches. And that may be strange that you that don't know the football. To us, it is simply a beautiful game. And that is this idea that all of these 11 men can work together to produce enough force to move the ball 1 or 2 inches. You do that over and over again, you get yards. When you get yards, you get first downs, and you get first downs, you get touchdowns, you get touchdowns, you get championships. That's where you're at. That moment now when you're tired, we understand that. To be honest, we get a little tired too. Every day there's another piece of news or another piece of, we've got to be creative and innovative to make it work. And we're in that position every single day. But then I just go into Greg's office, or Greg goes into Gary's office, or into Garen's office, or with Navaz, or with Rex, or wherever it might be. And we pump up, we get ready, and we go out and do it again. And that's what being a leader and being a champion is all about. So Greg, we're at the end of it now. This is the 3 months left, right?
Yep, 3 months.
Great time to focus on your 2020 goals. Is it a good time to think about 2021?
Absolutely. It's a start. But some people may be saying, oh, I'm so far away from my 2020 goal. Maybe it's chairman's bonus and, whatever happened, and continue to try hard and try to make it, but for sure be thinking about what can I do now to set myself up for 2021.
Eagle manager.
So I'm Eagle manager, so I'm chairman's bonus qualified, and that you're achieving all the goals that you want to. Absolutely be thinking about that and strategizing how you're going to get there.
We certainly are.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, we're working on some really exciting things, because out of this crisis has become some great innovation. I was on a call this morning, and I said to him, the next 5 years is going to be incredible, because even though a lot of our people might be working from home, there's a lot of stuff happening. We've got some new product designs coming out that you're going to love. We've got some new product innovation that you're going to love. We're working on creative ways to enable to recognize you from a global point of view if you can't travel. That's another part of the business that we're really focusing on now. We're looking at ways to improve our digital offering, our online offering, ways to make our company policies match this new and diverse way to do business. All of these things are going on a day-to-day basis, and we're really excited about those. We're excited about the future, but as importantly, we're excited about tomorrow. And you should be too, because there's so much on offer for you. Greg, one last word before we say goodbye to all of our friends throughout the world that are enjoying Digital Success Days right now.
Hey, be positive, look for the opportunities. I heard on the news this morning also about Europe and going through this second wave, and immediately came to mind opportunity.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity, and I hate to say that because there's a lot of people suffering, but there's opportunity not just to make money. Come on, guys, let's be real. We are helping people. We are giving them hope. We are letting them be healthier. Their immune system's getting stronger, so forth and so on. And they have an opportunity to provide for their family and to feel important and gain self-confidence. What better opportunity is there in the world? It's forever. Go take advantage of it, use it, and watch the benefits grow for you. We love you guys, and we can't wait to see you.
See you soon.
a great message. I'm sure you'll agree from Greg and from Aidan, and I'm sure we all extend our thanks to them for taking the time out of their busy schedule to send us all a message. That message will be used, as Greg said, or Aidan said, I can't remember, across the world at all the virtual events that are going on a weekly basis across the very many countries. I'm sure that you got a lot from that, as I did. Some really some things that stuck out from both Greg and from Aidan. From Greg was the message that we can give hope to people. And, whilst, of course, when you're running your own business, it is, of course, about making money too, but we also contribute a lot and give people hope and support and encouragement. And I think that's something that we should continue to do. As Greg said, sometimes that can be difficult when you recognize that there are so many people hurting around you. Sometimes it's hard to have the courage to reach out when you're in a better position perhaps than they are. But we need to do that and be supportive to our friends, family, and our communities too. And that message came across from me very strongly from Greg. From Aidan talked about standing out from the crowd, and that's something else that we do on a regular basis. When we are that beacon of hope, when we are that positive glass half full person, we do stand out from the crowd, and that's what we need to do. We only have one life, and we need to take responsibility for that life, responsibility for providing for our friends and for our families in particular, and for ourselves. And that's sadly something that I see not enough of, particularly in this times of the pandemic. I think it was Aidan was referenced, many people just sitting around waiting for the government to save them. Well, that may not be the case. And I think, if we take responsibility and work hard in this last quarter, we can do some great things. So I see from the threads this morning, we've got people on, of course, from the UK, lots and lots of parts of the UK. Hi to you. I've seen a lot of Ireland on this morning. Well done to you, and good morning to you. I've seen Nigeria, Australia, Holland, Spain, lots and lots of you on from different parts of the world, and we're glad to have you with us this morning. For all of you, stay with us all morning, because the guys and girls behind the scenes are going to be giving away via our MC for the day, Debbie Nwanga, are going to give away lots and lots of prizes today. So some encouragement for you to stay with us and join in the Christmas spirit. I can promise you that there's very many of our presenters today looking much more Christmassy than I am. I only managed to find one shirt with a bit of red in, but we've got some very glamorous looking ladies looking very Christmassy this morning for you as well. So have fun as the day goes on. This era that we find ourselves in, I've heard described as the golden era of Forever, and I believe that to be the case. I've been part of Forever since 1994. I don't think I've ever seen an opportunity the way this opportunity looks now. We have, a great chance over the next years to cement some really strong foundations for your businesses that'll keep you healthy and in good financial shape for the future, and that's a great place to be. So let me introduce to you this morning our great MC. Debbie, are you on the line? I can see your little box there. Your smiling face.
I'm here, Bob.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well indeed, and for the benefit of the rest of the people on the line, we're not quite neighbours, but we're only a few miles away from each other, aren't we?
Yeah, very, very close. And I'm not Christmassy today, so I'm definitely with you, Bob.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're what's that say? We're bar humbug or whatever we are. I mean, I think we need to get more Christmas spirit before the next one. But
we'll get there. We'll get there.
You're in the middle of Leamington Spa, and I'm just a few miles outside of Leamington Spa. And how have you been coping with lockdown?
It's been amazing, actually, Bob. I can't complain. It's been obviously a very strange year. I've had the boys, so my two teenagers, one's 17 and the other one's 15, and I've had them at home for 6 months. So that was a challenge at first to get used to for all of us. But it actually turned out to be the best thing ever. The boys became closer, and it was just actually really, really nice to have them at home unexpectedly. So it was really, really good. I had my parents live here as well, so that was nice. They were in Spain when lockdown happened, so they came home and lived with us for 4 months. So it's actually been amazing, and business has rocketed, so can't complain.
I obviously, like you do, I talk to a lot of people, and of course we're used to working from home, particularly you more than me perhaps. You know,
Yeah.
I was mostly in Longbridge Manor, but I can't help but think that you know, people who've experienced it for the first time, very many of them have loved it, and you know, that time that they save with their weekly commute, the
Yeah.
money that they're saving not commuting, and as you said, you know, being able to build stronger relationships with your family because you're around them more, and you know, it's not such a pressure to dash out the door and get to work. And I think that's a big opportunity for us as a business, because more
Yeah.
and more people perhaps will want to stay that way. I don't know whether you found the same.
I don't actually want lockdown to end for that reason. I love it. I absolutely love it. And just moving things like online launches and things like that has been really effective, because you can actually do more of them in a day or in a week. So, you know, there's lots of elements that I will actually keep from this experience.
Greg referenced that a little bit in the video clip there. You know, the creativity that we've seen has been absolutely phenomenal, and you know, how you guys have really taken your business from being well, a lot of our business was online before anyway, but I mean, things like the way that we now present products, which historically was in a more face-to-face way, and now I'm hearing of, you know, WhatsApp parties and beauty evenings on Zoom and Facebook, and I mean, the creativity is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, very early on in the lockdown, we had sort of professionals that we either knew or friends knew, and they were, you know, coming online to do things like yoga sessions and personal training sessions and story time for kids. And it was just incredible. It was just really, really lovely to bring a whole community all around the world together. So it was great.
And I think that's a big learning message for, you know, those newer FBOs online today. It is about building community, isn't it? It's about contributing. And so when we do things that are not just buy our product or join our business, then, you know, obviously we need to do a bit of that too. But when we're doing more broader things that help just give value and build community, then we really get a strong group of people who enjoy being part of whatever it is we're doing. And I think that's a strong message, isn't it?
Being part of our crazy.
Part of our crazy. Well, you know, I said to somebody the other day, I don't mind at all being described as crazy, because what we do is not quite fit in the box of what most people are used to. Don't ever describe me as normal, because I don't really want to be normal. I'm sure you.
No, I don't think anybody would ever describe me as normal, so that's fine.
For that, thank goodness for that. Debbie, I want to just say from all of the team at Longbridge Manor, thank you for your continued support. Obviously, living local to us, we see perhaps more of you than we do a lot of other FBOs, and you're always, you know, stepping forward to contribute and help the head office team. We thank you very much for that, and congratulations on your continued success as one of our leading FBOs. And I hope you have a fun time with the group. You've got a lot on. What have we got on? Over 300 this morning, and as I've just read out a long list of countries, you've probably seen them all in the comments box. Some really nice comments from people all around, and I don't know where this person came from, but I was reading a comment just a few seconds ago from a person who said that forever had been the one thing that had kept them positive during these times. And so, you know, to you and the other leaders, I extend my sincere thanks for that, because you do a great job in supporting the wider Forever community that we have. So thank you, Debbie. Have fun today, and thank you everybody online this morning. It's been nice to be able to take a few minutes of your time. Have a fun day, and good luck to win some prizes later on. Take care.
Thanks, Bob. Okay, so hi everybody. As Bob said, my name is Debbie Nwangwa, and it's my pleasure to be the MC today from my lovely house here in Leamington. So my background, for those that might be quite new into the business, was actually in the oil and gas industry. So I'd been in that industry for over 10 years, and I'm actually just about to celebrate my 10th anniversary in Forever next week. So a whole decade of being part of Forever, and it has been the best experience of my entire life. So 10 years ago, as I said, I was in the oil and gas industry and loved my job in my early 20s, and then my kids came along. So you've just heard me saying to Bob, I've got one who's nearly 18, and that's Kai, my eldest, and I've got one who's 15, and that's Jaden. So when my kids came along, they had to go into wraparound care from 3 months old, which was far from ideal as a parent, but I had no choice. So I did that for years, got myself into loads of debt, choosing the best, you know, nursery that they could have, because they were there for such long hours. And then I fell in love with a private school when my eldest Kai was 7. very local to me, all boys, amazing at sports and also music. And I thought, I need to have a look at it. Had a look at it, fell in love, and I thought, I have to send my boys here if they pass the exam. They did. So that was in September 2010, my eldest started, and I knew I needed extra money because my day job income was just not enough. So I thought, I'll start forever. I'll do it part-time. I'll stop watching television of a night time. And what happened then was actually over the next 2.5 years, not only was I able to very, very part-time make the money up for the school fees, but I was also able to give up my full-time job. So I got to be the mum at home. I got to go to the sports days, go to the parents' evenings, all of that kind of thing, and literally follow my kids around the country playing rugby and doing musical events. So it was the best choice that I could have ever made. 10 years on, life is very, very different now. So my eldest is now doing his A-levels at boarding school. He got a scholarship at a top sports school down in Somerset. So he's now home for half term after going back after COVID. And my youngest is in the best educational setting for him as well. So life is very, very good. I'm very excited. And this year, as I said to Bob, has just been nothing but a massive increase from last year. So actually, I have loved having lockdown. It's been amazing. As I said, I've had lots and lots of time at home with the boys whilst they've been here, and also my parents as well. So life has been amazing over the last 10 years. So it's my pleasure to take you through keeping the day rolling for the next few hours. We've got some amazing speakers that are going to share with you some of their top tips on how to get the best out of that last quarter that we've just heard about. I've got a few notes because I don't want to forget things. There's going to be prizes. So Bob's already mentioned that this morning. You need to be on the webinar to have a chance of winning the prizes. So you can't just stay on for 5 minutes and win a prize. You need to stay on the webinar in order to get the prizes. You need to put the hashtag Forever Excellence on your social media in order to be in with winning the prize as well. So hashtag Forever Excellence, and then randomly I will get a message from head office to say who the winners are. And I think that is it in terms of things that I need to talk about. But I wanted to firstly introduce the first speaker of the day. It is Senior Manager Steph Barnsby. Steph's been with Forever now for 7 years. So as I said, she's a Senior Manager. In that time, Steph's built up, she's been qualified for lots of the amazing incentives. So she's a Senior Eagle Manager, Chairman's Bonus qualified in the past, Global Rally, Forever to Drive. So absolutely all of the amazing incentives that we have, Steph's absolutely ticked those off. So I can think of nobody better to kick off the day as our first speaker than Steph. So Steph, are you there? She's also the regional leader for London as well. I forgot to put that bit in. So she's a very busy lady, and Steph's going to take you through the first part. Hi, Steph.
Morning, Debbie. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm really, really good. So I'm just going to hand over to you, and you can share your top tips this morning.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you so much for having me, everybody. And I'm delighted to be with you this morning. My name is Steph Barnsby. As Debbie mentioned, I've been in the business now for just over 7 years. And I think anyone in the business that's been in the business a number of years will tell you that time literally just flies. They say time flies when you're having fun. It really does in Forever. I feel like I've just been in the business for a couple of years, but it's been an amazing journey too. And I've also loved every single minute of it. So my background before I got into the business was 15 years in the corporate world in recruitment. And I worked in a very, very busy, cutthroat environment. It was a sales environment, and always moving the goalpost. It was long hours. You're only ever as good as your last month. And I'd got to a point in my life where I was looking for something, an opportunity to have a bit more quality time in my life. I was actually 9 months pregnant at the time when I got in touch with my sponsor about the opportunity with Forever, because I'd seen her posting on social media. So a lesson to you there, guys. make sure you are visible in the right way on social media, because people are watching you. And although it doesn't happen very often, sometimes people reach out to you rather than you reaching it out to them. If you get your social media right, absolutely, that will happen. So I got in touch with my sponsor, had a look at some information about the business. I was one of those people that was really excited straight away. And even though I was 9 months pregnant, I joined, and I thought, oh, you know, I'll think about how to do the business later. I did have a couple of months off, obviously, to actually be a brand new first time mum, but I was so excited about the opportunity I'd seen and what I had in my hands that I couldn't wait to start sharing. And so it was only a few weeks later that I really decided to go for it. And 7 months after getting started, I'd reached our manager position, and then everything opened up to me. And it's been a great journey, as Debbie mentioned. I've been fortunate enough to have the opportunity to qualify for a lot of the Forever incentives over the years. I'm really excited about this next phase of growth in Forever. You heard Greg and Aidan at the beginning there talking about what an incredible opportunity we've got in our hands in these crazy times, and I'm really excited to be able to move our businesses up and on to the next level. So it's my pleasure to talk with you today about how to be efficient and effective with your business in the run up to Christmas. And you're going to hear from some incredible speakers today on lots of how to do the business in the lead up to Christmas, how to build your business, your team in the lead up to Christmas. And there's going to be a lot of information, and there's going to be loads of trainings, as Bob mentioned, coming out on all of the Christmas retailing ideas and recruitment ideas over the next few weeks on our company webinars. But if we don't have a plan in place as to exactly how to implement those, then we're not going to get very far. You know, it's great having it all down in your notes on paper, but it's taking it from the trainings and from the paper into action that's going to move our businesses forward over the next few months. And I'm going to reiterate what a couple of people have already said this morning. I think we've just got such an incredible opportunity in our hands right now. For those of you that are new in the business, not only is this always a fantastic time of year to build our business because of the lead up to Christmas, but also the current situation that we are in gives us an opportunity to really end the year with a massive bang, end the year strong, to be reaching out to people to help them with their health, and also to help them to develop an income if they want to. So super excited about the rest of the year, and I'm sure lots of you guys are too. So what do we have our hands on? So October, November and December can be the absolute best months of the year in this business if we manage it right. So I'm sure lots of you are going to want to ride that wave and take up that opportunity to manage these months, to have the absolute best months ever, or the best months that you've had this year. And again, if you're brand new in the business, I'm really excited for you, because you will get off to such a flying start. I've got a couple of new people in my team that have come on in the last month or so, and they're smashing it right now. You know, more than ever, there are people out there who are looking to purchase products to help them with their health. They've got Christmas on their minds, so they're starting to think about their Christmas retailing, buying products for friends and family. And as I mentioned, we've got an opportunity to share with people to help them with money for Christmas and to help them just with an income at the moment as well. So we've got a huge opportunity. And October, November, December, a 3-month period, if we utilize this opportunity and plan properly the way we're going to speak about over the next few slides, there's lots of you that could end up by the end of the year 3 months into our 5-month to manager plan, for example. Can you imagine going into January, if you're brand new in the business, just with 2 more months left to hit the manager position? And once you do, all of those amazing things on the marketing plan open up to you next year for 2021, when we're going to be in a huge year of growth, and you're going to be able to continue to ride that wave even more. So 3 months is really significant in the lead up to manager, in the 5-month to manager plan. So you can really utilize these months for many, many different reasons. They also give us an opportunity to implement a lot more activity. and input much more than we would on a standard month in the business, for example, because of the Christmas shopping market, because of things like Black Friday coming up. And you're going to hear about all of these things throughout the course of the morning. So there is an opportunity there to implement more activity, to input more volume into your business, and obviously to make a lot more money over these months as well. It's a really, really exciting time. Imagine if you put your heart and soul into the next 3 months. Can you imagine how much you can leverage your business in lockdown? It's got quite a ring to it, hasn't it? Leverage in lockdown. We've seen so many people over the last few months just flying up through the marketing plan, as Debbie mentioned earlier, where they've had more time at home. And people that are joining that are still working the business around a full-time job, you have an opportunity, if you are working from home right now, to be able to maybe put a bit more time. As Bob mentioned, you're not commuting into the office, you're not commuting home. There's usually a couple of hours there extra a day just from not commuting. And then maybe you can work through your lunch break. So imagine putting 3 hours a day into your business, and that's just from hours you get back from not commuting to work. That's not going to last forever, but you can really take advantage of that over the next 3 months or so, and see some phenomenal growth. We saw lots of people get into manager in 3-4 months at the first lockdown because of this situation. So how much could you leverage your business in lockdown? I would 100% take this opportunity, especially October, November, to move up a position in the marketing plan. So wherever you may be, if you've just joined, work with your sponsor in your upline to get a plan in place, to map out your business, to move up a position in the next couple of months. Because, you know, if you can't move up a position in these months, when can you? It's a brilliant, brilliant time to really maximize on the opportunities out there. So don't just think about gradually building your business, get ambitious and think, right, okay, by the end of the year, I'm definitely going to have moved up at least one position on the marketing plan, if that's what you want to do. If you are just retailing in the business, then you can set a different goal. We'll talk about that in just a second. Don't let these next 10 weeks happen by accident. Let's grow our businesses by design in the next 10 weeks. Let's focus on what we can achieve in the next 10 weeks leading up to Christmas and the end of the year. And the results can be absolutely phenomenal. We can have a huge end to the year. And again, as Greg and Aidan mentioned, we often talk about at this time of year, what you're doing now in October, November and December isn't just for now. What you're doing in these 3 months is going to set you up for a really strong year in 2021. So it's the foundations for creating your success. And if you move on through the marketing plan and you reach that manager position in the early parts of the year, then all of those incredible incentives will open up to you, and you can absolutely achieve those in the next year. I'm really, really excited about this for everybody. So also, it's really important to know what you're working towards. You know, we can easily just work our way through our businesses willy-nilly over the next couple of months and still have some great results. But whenever you set a goal and are focused on that goal and work towards that goal, that's when you're going to have real success. As they say, where focus goes, energy flows. So as we have such a great opportunity in our hands over the next few months, it's really important to know what we're working towards. So decide what you want. Is it an extra couple of £100 in retail profit to help you pay for Christmas? If you earn an extra couple of £100 a month, over the next few weeks, you're going to have a really, really excellent Christmas. It's going to pay for all your Christmas presents. It's going to pay for all your Christmas dinner and everything else that you want to do. So it's not to be sniffed at. Even just doing an extra bit of retail to what you're already doing can make a significant difference. If that's your goal, set it as your goal and work towards it. But it might be that you're looking to really make a difference in your business, as we've just mentioned, and that you're setting a goal to, you know, move up the marketing plan by one position. It's whatever you're working towards, this is the time that you need to set that goal and focus on it. So set your goals for the last quarter of this year and pick a key goal. You don't want to set yourself too many. If you set yourself 10 goals, you won't focus on any single one of them properly, and you'll end up probably not achieving any of them. So pick a couple of key goals, something that's going to really move you. So if it really is an income that you need to help you towards Christmas, and that's the thing that's going to move you to give your kids a wonderful Christmas, then focus on that one. If it's that you really want to end the year strong in a particular position in the marketing plan, then focus on that one. Focus and make it happen. And remember the compound effect. Every single little thing that you do will either move you closer to or further away from your goals. And you don't want to be the person that's moving further away from their goals, no matter what those are. You know, which will you choose, moving closer towards your goal or further away? So how to spend your time wisely. It's really, really easy in this time where there is so much that you can be doing, and you're going to learn a lot today about all the different things that you can be doing over the next couple of months towards Christmas. It's really, really easy to get overwhelmed that there's so many more activities that you could be doing and then end up not doing any of them because you feel overwhelmed. So it's about becoming organized and knowing how much time you've got to put into your business and committing to that time. So if it is just a couple of hours a day that you can put in, don't plan in every single activity that you see on this training today, because you're not going to fit that in. And as I say, you'll feel overwhelmed and won't end up doing any of it. So know how much time that you've got to put into it and commit to that, whether it's 2 hours extra a day or an hour extra a day. And focus on that, the key activities that you're going to be doing, and focus on that goal that you've set yourself during that time. Planning is obviously key to being organised, and I'm going to talk about that on another slide in just a second, but we can utilise all of the planning tools that we have in the company to make sure that we do implement everything that we're going to learn today and get the absolute best out of it. Have a strategy for the next 3 months. Jane Leach always coaches us at her Kickstart events at the beginning of the year to have a retail and recruitment strategy for the year. What are you going to be spending your time on? Where are you going to focus? Which activities are you going to have in your business to help you move your business forward? So why not have a strategy for the last 3 months of the year? So when you've finished the training today, when you're doing your planning for the rest of the month tomorrow, or for the rest of the week tomorrow, as we often do on a Sunday, have a look at all of your notes and decide which are the income producing activities that you are going to do and stick with them. It might be that, you know, you're already in the business, you've been in the business for some time, and you have your regular activities that you always have on your 7-day plan and on your monthly plan. So keep doing those, but maybe pick 2 extra things that you've learned today and implement those, but do them really, really well. So if you're picking to do maybe Christmas shopping events, for example, or to focus on the C9 as your 2 extra activities for October, for example, do them, but do them really well and do them consistently and do them everywhere. So, you know, talk about the C9 in your VIP customer groups, on your social media, maybe do it yourself and blog it so that it's everywhere, and focusing on a couple of core activities but doing them really, really well is probably going to bring you much better results than doing lots of different things every single day, because remember, the people that are watching you are going to get confused as well if there's too much going on. So there's lots of tips from today. Do your usual activity and all the stuff that you normally have in your plan, but pick a couple of extra things from what you learned today that you don't normally do and really focus on them, and make it obvious that that's what you're focusing on, so that your audience, your customers, don't get too confused either. And you're much likely to get more people coming to you as well, because when people are watching, they sometimes need to see things several times before they are ready to buy. So it's really, really important that we don't over confuse our audience and our customers as well. So choose your 2 extra things for your retail and choose your 2 extra things for your recruitment, and put a strategy in place. So it might be that you've got a strategy for the 2 extra things you're doing for the rest of this month, and then maybe in November you're going to work more on Christmas shopping events and doing more stuff on your VIP customer group, for example, but just really focusing on those two extra activities. It could be that you're doing more D&A letters at the moment for both recruitment and retail, but you're going to do those consistently every single week. Utilize your socialing time to maximize your results. There's always so much opportunity at this time of year, and I know that we are not able to mix households in a lot of places at the moment. We've just been told that here in London, but we can still go for dog walks and grab a coffee and walk and talk with our friends. We are still doing the school runs and speaking to school mums at a social distance and dads. We are able to still go to the gym at the moment. So there are still lots of opportunities to talk to people. I prospected someone outside the bakers in a queue not so long ago who had a look at the business. So, you know, there are still opportunities to talk to people. So when you're out and about, when you're socializing, when you're going about your everyday activities, remember to get in the mode of being friendly and talking to people. And there's a killer question that we can always ask at this time of year, which always opens up a great conversation, potentially about the products or the business opportunity, which is, have you started your Christmas shopping yet? What are you doing for Christmas? And that's a conversation that you can get into with anybody, which will, you know, often prompt people to say, oh, you know, they don't know what to buy for people. And then obviously we can share with them some of our products, or that, you know, they wish they had more money, they're worried about saving up for Christmas. We can share with them about the opportunity. So utilizing your socializing time. So it's, you're going to those places anyway, you're going to be talking to people while you're there anyway. So when you're doing that, you may as well have some business conversations, some product conversations to maximize that time. It's such a busy time of year in our lives in general, that we need to utilize our nooks and crannies and the time that we're doing other stuff anyway to be able to build our business. And finally, follow up with everything. I think following up is the key to really spending our time wisely, because if we're not following up with all of the work that we've done, if you've reached out to people about some products and they're thinking about it, if you don't follow up, that was a wasted opportunity. If you're reaching out to people about the business and they haven't responded yet, or they're still thinking about it, if we don't follow up, we're not spending our time wisely in the first place by reaching out to them, because we may as well not bother if we're not following up with people. We know that most people don't respond to a first message, or that most people go away and have a little think about what they're looking at, and we need to follow up with them. It's not often that they will follow up with us. So following up is absolutely key to spending our time wisely in these times. Whatever it is that you're doing, make sure you're following up with people. If you have an online Christmas launch or a Christmas shopping event, once people have watched on Zoom, this is the difference between doing a party in someone's house. You can follow up with them on the night and get all the orders in then. But if you are not following up with them after a Zoom, then, you know, they'll just disappear. And it's not that they don't want to buy, it's that they've just not thought about it. They've got busy. So it's up to us to follow up, to make sure that the time that we have done the launch, the time we've spent preparing for it and doing it online, is being spent wisely, because we're following up and getting the results out of it. So choosing your retail activities, I'm not going to go into this in too much detail, because I know that there are going to be lots of Christmas retailing tips over the coming slots, but there's lots of things we can be doing, and that's really why I was sharing these slides, because there are loads of things you can pick from, but as I said, maybe some of these are things you already do and keep on doing those, but maybe pick an extra couple of things to really focus on over the coming months and get really good at, and really make some noise about. So we've got online launches, so you can do skincare launches, Christmas shopping launches, weight management, Black Friday, C9 campaigns. You can do those on your social media stories, on your VIP customer groups, just by talking to people, doing it yourself and showcasing it and blogging it. I know some people that are getting some amazing results with the C9 at the moment, and selling so many of them off the back of doing it themselves, as always. Obviously, we've got the Christmas present market, so personal shopping, gift giving, hampers, stuff that you buy for yourself to give your own loved ones, samples and experience packs, Online Christmas markets, there's lots of these around. I'm sure people are going to speak about this today. We can't go out necessarily and do a Christmas market like we ordinarily do, but there are online Christmas markets. People are getting really creative, just like they are in Forever, where you can join up with different business owners, people that sell candles, people that sell cakes, and all do an online Christmas market in a Facebook group. WhatsApp and messenger sales, Bob mentioned, people are doing WhatsApp parties, secret sales, messenger sales, talking to people and socializing. Obviously, I've just mentioned that. I think Dear Neighbour letters at the moment are absolutely key to maximizing our time while we're at home, and there are so many people working from home. More people are in, more people are thinking about their future. I think it's crazy not to be doing Dear Neighbour letters at the moment and getting into a consistent habit of doing those every single week, and utilizing your VIP customer groups as well. So you can see there is so many to pick from, but maximizing your time is, maybe picking a couple of those that you're going to focus on in October, a couple of those that you're going to focus on in November and December, and making that part of your strategy for the next 10 weeks or so. The same with recruitment. You can see here so many different things that we can still be doing all online. We're very fortunate that our business has transitioned so well to being in the online space. So obviously your who do you know list, it's a great time to revisit your warm lists at the moment. So even if you've been through your who do you know list earlier in lockdown, the situations are changing so frequently at the moment that it's a great time to revisit, especially around now in October, when sadly there are lots of redundancies taking place as the furloughs end. So revisit all of these activities, following up with people. It could be that you currently are using your warm list, but your extra recruitment activity that you are going to do for the next couple of months and really focus on consistently every week is doing some Christmas Dear Neighbour letters. One of my brand new team members, her first batch of Dear Neighbour letters that she sent out a couple of weeks into her business, she had someone call her. We did an online Zoom one-to-one with this lady, the three of us. The lady joined, she's absolutely smashing it, the second generation lady who came in through a Dear Neighbour letter. So, it could be that that's what you decide to focus on for the next couple of months if you're not already doing that. So again, pick an extra activity maybe or two that you're not currently doing and really focus on it in addition to your current activity, but don't try and do too much. Just get really good at a couple of extra things. So planning is key, as I mentioned. The 7-day plan is in the First Steps to Manager book. It's a great way to plan your business on a weekly basis. You can write down the left everybody that you're going to be contacting about the opportunity that week, your retail activity, who you're following up with, and your one-to-ones you can see there on the right hand side, and which training and events that you are going to be focusing on that week. It's basically a posh to-do list, but it's really duplicatable. If we have that there, we're much more likely to use that than we are just writing down a to-do list on a scrap of paper, because it's much more like a plan. However, really, really importantly is that we plot that into our diaries. And because Christmas is such a busy time of year, our diaries could be super chocker. So what we always coach out to our teams is to put everything that's really important to you into your diary first. Your work, obviously you have to do your work if you're still working for an employer, or if you have another business, make sure you're putting your work time in there, your family time in there. If you love going to the gym and you just don't want to sacrifice that out of your day, then make sure that's in there, because you're going to do more consistent activity if you're not sacrificing the things that you love to do. Things like watching rubbish on the telly, we don't want those in our diary really, and that's the time we can give up to really build in our nooks and crannies of time in our business. So put everything in there that's important to you first, and then look for the gaps. It could be, as I say, that hour's commute either side of the day that you're not having to do at the moment. It could be your lunch break. It could be switching off the TV in the evening. And if you can find a couple of hours every single day to focus on your core activities and your extra couple of things that you're going to do leading up to Christmas, the results will be incredible. And obviously at the beginning of each month, you want to sit down with your sponsor and your upline and to really volume map your business out for the whole month as well to help you move forward. So how will you end your year? This is just to summarize everything that we've spoken about over the last few slides. Make sure you know your goals and what you want to achieve over the next 3 months. Have a purpose. Know exactly what you're focusing on. Use your time wisely and smartly by planning your business, using the incredible tools that we've got, but utilize the times that you're doing other stuff to build your business and to talk to people. Pick your income producing activities and put a strategy in place. Sit down, take some time tomorrow and sit down and work out what you're going to do for the next 3 months. Have your plan there, exactly what activities you're going to do and what you're going to really focus on to build your business up. Keep it simple and choose your extra couple of things to do instead of trying to do absolutely everything. Plan your activity, follow up on everything. Do not forget to follow up to get the maximum results. And remember what we've got our hands on. Remember what some people did at the beginning of lockdown last time. Do you want to look back at Christmas and wish that you'd put a strategy in place and wish that you'd done more? Or do you want to look back at the end of the year and think, wow, look what I've achieved in these last 3 months? Whether that is, you know, saving up £800 to £1,000 a month in retail profit to pay for an incredible Christmas if you just want to retail, or whether that's being 3 months into the 5 months to manager plan and on your way to manager to have an incredible 2021. Whatever is important to you, make sure that you're looking back at the end of this year saying, yes, I did it. And yes, I did it because I planned my time. I knew exactly what I wanted and where I wanted to go. Enjoy the rest of the day. There's some incredible speakers coming up. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks, Debbie.
Wow, Steph, that was a lot of information. I really, really hope that people will implement those things because it is all about the planning. If you could just stay on for 1 minute for us, because we've got a few questions. Everybody's just saying, thank you, Steph, you're awesome. But we've got one question from Julia who says, which version of the Dear Neighbour letter do you recommend? Is it a card with photos or a handwritten and typed personal A4 letter?
I think you can use whatever works for you. Some people prefer flyers. You can make up flyers if you want to. I personally just have a typed up letter with my picture in the corner, just explaining that, you know, I live in the local area, explaining a bit about the products, if people want some samples, explaining that there's a business opportunity, an income opportunity. And I just fold it in 3, write Dear Neighbour on it by hand, because I just think if that goes through the door, people are going to be more likely to pick it up and think, oh, what's this? So, and I think it's really duplicatable to just be able to print out a letter. So brand new team members find that easy to do. And I think it's one of the first activities that we should be sharing with our new team members at the moment.
Brilliant, brilliant. And it's definitely true, you know, the people that plan are the people that you see on the, you know, success events and all of that kind of thing, getting their promotions and everything else. So thank you so much for all of that content. And just for anybody that's joined late, this is recorded, so you will be able to watch back on everything that Steph's just shared with you, so you won't miss out. So thanks again, Steph. Enjoy the rest of your day and good luck with the last quarter for you too.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you. Right, so we have some winners. I'm just going to check my messages for the first winners for the prizes. Now, the prizes are the same for everybody today. You're going to get forever branded Christmas wrapping paper, gift bags, and 3 biocellulose masks. So everybody gets lots of presents. These winners are going to get exactly the same. So first person to win is Anna Ewington. Then we've got Jenny Carpetta, we've got Olga Dean, and we've got Paul Diamond and Ingrid Farmer. So those are our first winners so far. So in order for you to win a prize and be in the chance to win a prize today, all you have to do is share #ForeverExcellence on your social media, and winners will be picked at random in between each of our speakers today. So straight on to our next speaker. I can think of nobody better. She's an absolute retail queen and a fantastic trainer. So we've got Beth Turner. She's a brand new soaring manager this year. In fact, it was in lockdown. Beth lives in Kent. She's a mum to Ethan and Brooke, and she worked in HR for one of the biggest retailers, which is John Lewis, for 15 years before she found Forever. She absolutely believes happiness breeds success in business, and Beth is the perfect speaker today because Christmas is her favourite time of year. Beth, are you there?
Morning.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody brought Christmas to the event. Good morning.
Absolutely love it. Over to you, Beth. I won't want to take any more of your time up.
Well, there we go. I hope that there are people listening in this morning wearing their Christmas jumpers. Check that out. Right, so for the next 20 minutes, you and I are going to be locking into unleashing your passion to pay for your Christmas. So as Deb said, I worked in retail, but I was always too mischievous to go on the shop floor. So my background is in HR, but it kind of doesn't matter because when you're in retail at Christmas, everybody is on the shop floor. So I learned a lot about retailing and how passion is kind of like the missing link between retailing success and not at this time of year. Now, I am delighted to be talking to you about one of my favourite things of all time, hence the jumper and the mug. But paying for Christmas by unlocking your passion is a massive subject. So what I would like to do is simply take one tiny little angle of that for you today. And I'd like to talk to you about how to unleash your passion and pay for Christmas through your connection to Christmas dream boards. Now, you might be thinking I mean the kind of dream board where you have created this beautiful montage of where you and the people you love would spend Christmas if time and money were no option. So perhaps you'd be on the slopes, perhaps you'd be in Lapland, perhaps you'd be in the sunshine. I don't know. Let me be clear, that's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about a far more realistic kind of dream board. I'm talking about the dream board for this Christmas. So lockdown Christmas of 2020, the one that you are going to wake up to in 10 weeks time. Get in. 10 weeks, that's all we've got. So that's about this Christmas, because as far as Christmas is concerned, my own perspective is that you are only as happy as your last Christmas tree. So I'm going to talk to you about this Christmas that we're going to have coming up right now, because Christmas trees have always played a really important role in motivating me to do business. This might sound a bit random, but in 2013, I joined the business in October. So I was a Halloween joiner. So that should tell you everything about my witchy nature. I joined on Halloween, and basically for the first 10 weeks of my business, so the last 10 weeks of 2013, I just officially fannied about. I wasn't very good. I couldn't make the business work, mainly because I wasn't following the steps in the First Steps to Manage book. I wasn't doing anything towards actively retailing the products, and I wasn't focused on any of the activities that I was being coached to do. And that's why the business didn't move. And I think partially it's because I was scared of how and whether I could do it. And partially it's because I didn't need the business in a massive sense. I'd got a job, we'd got a way of paying the bills. Everything was fine. I knew I wanted change in the future, but in the immediate short term, everything was quite comfortable. And I think that tripped me up a little bit in the early days. And then there was a moment, the 6th of December, because we're not allowed to buy a Christmas tree in our house until my husband's birthday's been and gone, and that's the 5th. So on the 6th of December, we went out as a family to buy our Christmas tree for 2013. Let me show you a photo from that day. So hopefully you can see this on the screen. So these are my small people. So Ethan and Brooke, and on the 6th of December, we went out to buy a Christmas tree. And this is a photo taken in the pub on the way back. So we've got a 7-foot Christmas tree, some mammoth Christmas tree strapped to the roof rack. And we're in a local pub near the Christmas tree farm, and we're having some tea, open log fire. The kids are 7 and 3. And you know, you think, it just hit me like, you know, like a bulldozer, that I had wasted 7 Christmas trees with them. Because as a parent, I know I've only got 18 Christmas trees when I can more or less bank on the fact that they'll be with me on Christmas Day. Beyond that, hopefully they'll be doing something really exciting, something in a different part of the world, or spending it with all sorts of people that they love. But 18 of those are mine. And I looked at them in the pub in this photo and thought, you know what? I've just wasted 7 of them, because I had wasted them being absolutely exhausted from being in retail until 11 o'clock in December in the run up to Christmas, working on Christmas Eve, not being able to attend nativity plays, Christmas assemblies. I would be super tired on Christmas Day and Boxing Day, and I'd be back in for the first day of the sale, which is a momentous moment in the retailing calendar. The reality is I was spending my Christmases watching other people get excited about heavily discounted white goods and fashion. Meanwhile, someone else was in my house playing with my kids' new Christmas toys, eating leftovers from my fridge and watching Christmas films on my television. And I thought, at this moment, I know Jane Leach often talks about a paradigm shift. In this moment, I thought, enough. I am done with wasting Christmas trees. And I've queued up at too many Christmas grottos, waiting to see Santa and his reindeers on my BlackBerry, answering somewhat important emails. And I thought, enough, something has got to change. So I needed to find a way to connect to the short-term goals that I was setting for myself, because the long-term goals seemed a bit far off. And I'm a kind of here and a now, be in the present kind of girl. So I decided to make a deal with myself that by 2014, which would be my next Christmas tree, it would be very, very different. I wanted out of the corporate world, and I wanted to have enough time and energy to enjoy Christmas. And so I had to focus on what I had to do in the immediate term, and how, and Steph mentioned working the business in the nooks and crannies of your day, because there were times I had a busy job, and on the commute or in the evenings, I'd rather be playing Candy Crush. Like, don't tell anyone. I know we were supposed to give up everything that's a waste of time, but sometimes I just wanted to watch soap operas and play Candy Crush. But I knew that my next Christmas tree was never going to be the one I wanted to live if I allowed myself to be distracted. So here's the newsflash. If you currently don't have an unbridled passion for selling aloe vera health and wellness products just because it's the most exciting thing you could think of, then don't worry, because all you need to do is you need to lock in onto the passion for spending the money and the time that retailing those products gives you on the people you love. Because when you focus on the passion behind the business, you can literally achieve anything. And that's where my affinity to short-term dream boards was born, I suppose. And I'd like to share it with you today. So look, here's how a Christmas goal board works. I'm very excited. I've even stuck mine on cardboard so I can show it to you today without it being all limp. All you do, really, really simply, you collect images, not of the Christmas that you want in a decade from now, but things you want to spend time and money doing this Christmas. So you collect images. I'm going to show you mine in a second. And then you work out the sterling value of those gifts that you want to buy the people you love, or those experiences that you want to have. You work out how much they cost, and then you convert that sterling price into case credits, because only then will you know how many case credits of activity you need to do to use the profit to fund the thing, the gift or the activity. I hope this makes sense. Now, I always use £75 worth of profit per case credit. I know as a manager, I earn a lot more money per case credit than that. But when I use £75, it means I've got some profit left over. It means I'm covering all of the gifting that I do for my customers. It means I've covered all the delivery costs of the products. So I use a flat rate of £75, because then I know when I'm coaching this and talking to my team about it, that an assistant supervisor gets £75, at least £75 profit from every case credit. So it's an even playing field. So would you like to see my Christmas dream board? Very excited about this. Right. So I make it early, because once you know, once August is here, I think it's game on to start talking about Christmas. So what you're going to see on my dream board is the things that my friends, family, and I have decided that we're going to do this Christmas. Right. So if you haven't already pinned my video, which is alarming because my face will be giant on your screen. If you haven't already pinned my video to your screen by the 3 little dots on the top right hand side of my video box, do it now, because then you can see my dream board in its glorious Technicolor. So here it is. That is not over technical at all, is it? So all you've got there is I have just printed out images of some of the things, because everything doesn't fit on here, that I would like to buy or do this Christmas. Now you'll see in the middle there that the things on this board total £1,100. If you divide 1,100, me peeping in the side of the screen, if you divide £1,100 by 75, you will get roughly 14. So I know that from the day that I created this dream board to Christmas, if I can retail or team build and retail 14 case credits of activity, I will have enough profit to pay for all of these things. So what have I got on here? Let's have a little look. So this is a Garmin watch that my husband doesn't know that he's going to get his December birthday, and it costs £350. And I know that if I do 4.6 case credits of activity, I will have enough profit from that activity to buy that watch. Here is the Crayola light board, which costs £30. What's that going to mean I have to do? It means I'm going to have to do 0.4 case credits of activity, and then I can buy the light board for my daughter. This is a dance onesie for one of my littlest nieces. It's going to be personalised. It's going to cost me £45. That is 0.6 case credits. If you're keeping up with this and you understand the pure simplicity of it, will you do me a favour and put a message in the chat box just so I know that I'm explaining this okay. So here, I've got a very glamorous niece. She's desperate for a Hollywood light bulbed mirror for her dressing table. Is it what I think would be a great present? No. Will she think it's a great present when she opens it on Christmas Day? Hell yeah. Now that's going to cost me £70. Now all I've got to do is ask myself, is she or is she not worth 0.9 of a case credit of activity? Can I be bothered to retail a couple of clean nines, because the profit from 2 clean nines would cover that. So, you know, it's not necessarily can I be bothered to do the work, it's can I care enough about the people that means I will find the motivation to go out and do the job. Yes, I can. I love these people. This is the Fitbit for my daughter, £50. So look, 0.6 case credits or one new starter. The next person, or actually the person that joined my business in September, the team leading bonus that I got for that joiner paid for that Fitbit. Suddenly the business is an absolute gift. And down the bottom here, it's not just presents that I buy. This is £150 I put on here to do, you know, all the extravagant Christmas food shopping and all the table decorations. I have friends that are dead creative, and I look at their Christmas tables and think, how did you do that? And all it is they've just given it some thought, and then they've bought the right things to make it look lush. I'm like, I'm having that Christmas table. So £150 for all of that Christmas shopping, the food shopping, to make it easy so that I don't spend all day peeling potatoes. You know, watching the Christmas lights at Bedgebury, so taking the olds to Bedgebury Forest, which is near us, and they do like a Christmas light display. It is beautiful, but my parents, they won't buy tickets to go themselves, but they love going. So, you know, it's not cheap. It's £120 to take myself, the kids and them to watch the lights at Bedgebury. But because I did this board in August and I knew I wanted to do that, you can't buy tickets for that in December. It's no good retailing 14 case credits and then sitting there on the 14th of December and hoping you can get a slot to go. Oh, no. This is planning now. So I bought the tickets for that last month. I couldn't be more excited about going with them. You know, to decorate my house. We've been in lockdown for so long. This year, the way Christmas feels in my house is going to be magnificent. There are going to be more twinkly lights and Christmas orientated decorations than you can throw a stick at, because that's how I want it to feel. I want Christmas spirit to be alive in my house, and my business is going to do that for me. And then my Christmas tree. you know, £50 for a Christmas tree. That's what a Christmas tree means to me. Of course, I'm going to work it. The next new joiner in my business, that will pay for my Christmas tree. Is there a more motivating reason to move? Probably not. So now you'll see that across some of these, you'll see the word done, 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 done. That's because I made this dream board at the end of August, and some of these things have already been purchased. There's the Fitbit chip. There's the Forza Horizon game. There's half my nephew's tracksuit. He has no idea that Auntie Beth is going to get him that tracksuit. He's going to love it. There's the light box. Now, what did I say? 0.4 of a case credit. It's like virtually a tri-pack, like get a grip. Everything that you could want to spend money doing or having this Christmas is at your fingertips. Now, Naseema's just put, how do you make sure you don't put too much on the board? Naseema, you know, use self-control, woman. Just make a start. Because what you'll realise is not everything has to be excruciatingly expensive. It's the little things that count. And once you get into, you heard Debbie say that, I believe, happiness is the key to success. If you can find a happy way to do your business will be ultimately successful. And then all the things that you think, like I'll update mine, because some of my nieces and nephews have only just decided, or they can't quite settle on what Father Christmas needs to bring them. So I'll update it as I go. But I know that momentum builds. And, you know, you heard Steph talk about building momentum early. And so what the activity that you do to generate the income to buy and book tickets to do stuff in August, September, October, like now, that's where the fuel will come for your business to build and stay strong in November and December and end the year strong, like we heard Aidan talk about. So that's how a Christmas dream board works. A little bit overexcited. I might just need to lay down when I've done. But Christmas to me is not an extravagant time of year, but it is an opportunity for us to show our gratitude to the people who are in our lives, show them that we care about them by treating them to experience these 2 moments. This year has deprived us as families, communities, friendship groups, business teams of so many moments. And my challenge to you is, do not let, you know, the world deny you of a magical Christmas, because Christmas spirit is something that you can't buy. You feel it and you give it and you share it. And when you do that, you're believing, essentially, I think Christmas spirit, you're believing in something that you can't see. Children believe in Santa not because he's at the local garden centre, but they believe in the feeling of it and the essence of it. And therefore, it's a little bit like when you start your business. It was for me. You know, I believed the business would work. I couldn't see my customers. I couldn't see the income. I couldn't see where my team members would come from. But I believed I was I was part of something that was much bigger than me in the forever world. And therefore, what I did was I believed if I funneled my gratitude and my passion for having the opportunity in my hands, and I funneled it into activities that people were telling me would work, then that would become my reality. And did it? Of course it did. Because Christmas 2014, my Christmas tree in 2014 was 1,000,000 miles away from this. Because once I had that connection to short-term, medium-term goals, everything changed. And although I started building my business properly on Christmas Day 2013, by May the 30th of 2014, I had got my last commuter train to London. I had said thank you, but no thank you to the corporate job. I had chosen to work from home. I've never worked my business full-time. I don't enjoy full-time working. Why would you do that? I wanted a full-time income, but I just worked part-time from it. So 30th of May was the day I started building my business part-time from home, earning a full-time income, because that's what you leverage when you build your business solidly in forever. And therefore, by Christmas 2014, I had gifted my kids with a much more present, less tired parent. I was their companion on every school run. I was the frantic waver and the video taker in the back of every assembly. I attended nativities, recorder recitals, they're painful, and I was their companion that sat on the sofa on the days with them when they were poorly and watched films. I gifted my husband a much nicer wife, because the wife he had Christmas 2014 was far more chilled, far less crotchety and less overtired. I became the daughter who had time for her parents, to go out and drink gingerbread lattes at Christmas, and to do all those little things that seemingly are so simple for us and so hard for my parents to deal with. I became the auntie who was booking the Christmas grottos, was organising the panto trips, who was sending all the special letters from, you know, Lapland that I'd never had time to do before. I became the business owner who was gifting health and vitality to my customers, and I became the business coach who had enough energy and passion to help my teamies deliver whatever success, not just at Christmas, but whatever success looked like for them. So I don't know whether Christmas dream boarding is your gig or not. I don't know whether it will be the thing that allows you to channel your passion to pay for your Christmas in 2020. Maybe it will be, maybe it's something you just coach on. I don't know how you're going to build your business and why you will build it and what exactly it is you're going to do. All I would leave you with today is one plea from me. Whatever you do and however you do it, make me a promise that you, from this point on, will not waste another single Christmas tree of all those that you have the privilege to experience ahead of you. That's everything I've got. Debs, come and take over before my Christmas spirit gets out of proportion. Cheers.
You are the best. Honestly, all of the comments, you've had me in stitches as usual the whole way through, but I just love the way that you break it down into 14 case credits.
Not hard.
You can't make it any more simple than that. People want to know, where do you hide that board?
I don't print it off because, you know, the kids are weasels. They can find anything. So they're out at football training, which is why some of the Christmas presents have made it down to show you. So
Right.
I actually just keep it as a photo.
Okay.
So I've made it and then it's just on my phone, hidden.
Right. Let me see if we've got any more questions. Thank you for the amazing idea. Love it. There are so many comments since you've been talking on the chat box, so I'll let you scroll through that and see if you want to answer some of those once you've gone through. I just, like I say, I think it's just the breaking down of all of those case credits and what that means to you as a family. And for me, this is the first year ever that I've actually got Christmas presents in October. It's never happened in 40 years of being alive. So this year for me has been amazing. And I think it's really key as well of the fact that you've gifted yourself to your children. And that for me as a single parent is, you know, all we can do, isn't it?
And it's non-refundable, so they're stuck with me. But actually, you know, it was a gift. And therefore it's nice to be able to share. Because everybody's Christmas is different, but the spirit of it is completely attainable for everyone, whatever that looks like.
Exactly.
So it's my pleasure to be able to share. Right, I'm going to leave you,
Thank you
because
so
I
much.
want to hear what's coming next. So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I'll enjoy the rest of the event. Bye for now.
Excellent. Take care. Thanks again to Beth. You have to implement these things, guys, because they're so simple to put into your businesses and it will absolutely make you have the best Christmas. So we've got our second set of winners. This time it's from Instagram. We've got, I'm just going to read out the usernames on Instagram. So we've got @simply_Nazma. We'll put these on the page anyway, so they'll all be in written form. We've got @Vicky.Thompson83. We've got @Sona Sethi UK. So Sona's just asked one of those questions. We've got @Allo_Jane. And we've got @Gazelebanani. I don't know whether I've definitely not pronounced that right, but they will all be put onto the Forever UK events page, and they'll be put into the chat box in here as well. So again, you win the Forever branded Christmas wrapping paper, gift bags, and 3 biocellulose masks. So thank you again to the speakers so far. So we've now got our next speaker, and she's a new manager. Again in lockdown, there's a theme here, guys. So next speaker is Amanda Bevan. Amanda's from Herefordshire. She's got a partner and she's mum to Sophia, who's 8. Her background is in retail and she's been with Forever for 6 years. And she recently, in July, achieved the manager position, and she's got an extra speaker as well, which she's going to introduce you to. So Amanda, are you there?
Hi, Debbie.
Oh, hi, we can see you. I won't take away any of your thunder. If you can I will disappear and you can fire away.
Wonderful. So hi everyone. So yeah, as Deb said, I'm Amanda Bevan from Herefordshire. I have a little daughter who is Sophia, who is 8, and yeah, a great supportive partner who is Clive. So I've been doing this business, yes, for about 6 years now. I've not gone fast by no means, but I've stuck there and I've kept going because I absolutely love this business. That's the truth. And yeah, I went assistant manager in June, a manager in July. So yeah, keep with it, guys, because this business is just absolutely amazing. So let me just tell you a little bit about my background. But my background is Specsavers manager. I've been there for 12 years. Had my little girl, who we had IVF for. So I wanted to spend as much time with her as possible because they're just so special, aren't they? And but after going through IVF, I really wanted to spend that time with her. So I then came across an amazing business, trialed some products, and got shown some forever slides, and I basically got started. And I absolutely love it. And I started just retailing the products first. So I weren't going to bring people into the team, but I had a couple of people that just decided to join. And then I thought, well, do you know what? I could share this business to more. And that's what I've done. And I absolutely love seeing people grow in their business. But we've had some fantastic speakers today, haven't we? And Beth, you are amazing. You just made me want to get all my Christmas stuff out, and yeah, Christmas tree and all, hey? Anyway, so yeah, let's tell you a little bit about how we're going to retail the products today. So can I just go over to my next slide, please? So wonderful. So let me show you a few of the different things that we can use to market our products for our Christmas. So we've got the virtual online marketing groups. So this is where you could either set up your own, okay, so this is just like kind of like a customer group, but this is where you get involved with all different marketing. So you could have somebody there with the candles, you could have somebody there with perfumes, makeup, all sorts of different ones. And I think you get allocated, some do it where you get a store number and you just post on a page, or you can put it up in like an album. But it's really, really good way of marketing with all different network marketers, but it really gets your products out there. So, but you could set up your own if you wanted to. And like it's just like a page, but you set up as a group. Put a little heading on there, like the one that I've just put on there now, which is Christmas Fair, virtual Christmas Fair. So just put something like that. But they are brilliant. I've had all sorts of other network marketings now. I think I'm in about 3 or 4 now, but we're all, you know, purchasing from each other as well. You know, we put all our different customers and everything in there as well. But it's an amazing way to, yeah, connect with different people. So that's the virtual Christmas fairs. Then we have the online Christmas Zooms. Now, we've been using the Zooms for the business launches because, yeah, we're not able to get out there and do, well, some can still do the Christmas markets, but in different areas with the pandemic, we're having to maybe put things online. So we've got, yeah, the online Christmas Zooms. So this is where I've put a little photo up there with me, Jean-Marie, and the lovely Claire Spencer as well. And this is where we can show off our products. You can share your screen and bring up different hampers and things like that. And they're amazing. So we've been doing like the business launches, launching our new team members, but you could do a lovely Christmas one. You could either have them behind you and set up or your hampers and things like that, and then bring them onto screen and show them. Or you can have them ready and put just share your screen and bring the products up, which is a great way of getting the products out there again to family and friends. So you could just ask your friends and family who would like to come on to a Zoom meeting with me. It's a Christmas fair. And you could do prizes on there, you could do prizes, you could do games, all sorts of different things. But that's, again, a lovely way of getting the products out there to people. You can have your own Christmas group. So you could either post them into your main Christmas group, or you could set up your own Christmas group, which is another way of getting them out there. So you could, obviously the other speakers will be talking the different hampers and things like that that you can use. But the Christmas customer group is fantastic. You know, it doesn't have to be Christmas. You can use birthdays, gifts and things like that. And the next one is, we've got the Christmas stores and markets. So this is dependent how you feel comfortable, and obviously in different areas at the moment with the pandemic going on. But usually we would do Christmas stores or markets, and that's just setting up. Again, there's a picture there of a way of just, you know, just set up a table, just put your products out, and then you just talk to people about the products and about the business and things like that. You could have your hampers out, or you could even have photos out on your store with the different hampers that you can do. So the Christmas fairs, I absolutely love getting out and talking to people and things like that. So if you're able to, then that's a great way of getting your products out there. Again, we've got the Pamper Experience Packs. Again, this is if you feel comfortable. Obviously, we've got to make sure that they're all clean, sanitized and things like that. But this is how I got started, actually. So I started 6 years ago, and it was through trialing a experience pack. So what we did was put, the lady put them all into a box, as you can see, the experience pack there. And I just trialed them free for 48 hours. And I absolutely fell in love with them. And that's where it led on to the business. So again, you know, this is a great way of getting out there and talking to people and sharing the Christmas products. You never know, you might get a lovely recruit from it as well. So there's all different ideas there for you. Another thing, do you know what? Just think about maybe asking some of your customers and saying, would you be so kind to, you know, use me as a small business to be able to purchase a product from this year? And, you know, you can ask them, be upfront, just ask them, you know, ask any of your customers, your gel drinkers, your people that buy the propolis, the heat lotion, things like that. Just ask, you know, would you, be so kind to purchase a product from me? And many people will, and you can do like little personal care boxes and things like that, which again, you know, Jean-Marie will be talking to you about those. But there's many different ways that you can get the products out there. Just keep talking about Christmas and don't leave it too late. That, you know, we need to start thinking now to getting those products out to people. I absolutely love Christmas, don't we all? And, you know, people are going to be wanting to get on that positiveness at the moment, and especially, you know, lots of people are saying, gosh, I need to start Christmas shopping, getting it done, you know, before anything happens. We never know when the next, or if we're going to have another lockdown or anything like that. So this is a great time to get our products out there and share the love of Christmas and what it's all about. But yeah, there's many different products. We've got products for absolutely everybody, haven't we? We've got, you know, your men, ladies, your nan, your granddad, your uncles, your aunties, your brothers, your sisters, nieces, nephews, you know, they're for absolutely everybody. And even, you know, you can make it some lovely like animal hamper boxes as well. But I'm going to pass you over to the lovely speaker that's next. So we've got Jean-Marie coming on. Okay, now she's been in the business since April. She joined my business. She's absolutely amazing. So she joined in April. She went supervisor in May. So quite quickly, she's got amazing people behind her that just love seeing what she does. She's absolutely incredible. But she's a mum of 3, so she's busy mum of 3. She's got businesses as well, is her forever business. And she's going to show you some amazing products. She's going to talk about hampers, who to market them to, prices and everything like that. So I'm going to pass you over to the lovely Jean-Marie. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone. And yeah, have a great time at retailing Christmas presents to your friends and family. Anyway, take care, and I'll pass you over to the lovely Jean-Marie. Speak soon. Bye.
Well, hi everyone, I'm Jean-Marie. I'm a mother of 3, and yes, as Amanda said, I run at least 2 other businesses as well. I started my forever journey earlier this year in April. My husband lost his job, unfortunately, due to COVID, and I needed to get some, additional income into the household as soon as I could. And Amanda came along and she said, well, why don't you have a go? Just see if it's something that you might like to do. And so I joined in April, and by May, within 6 weeks, I reached supervisor in the marketing plan. And you know what? I have been loving my journey with Forever. It has been fantastic. I have got 6 team members that run their own businesses, and we are going strong, and we work together and we help each other as we can. Now, today I'm going to be talking to you about, hampers, putting them together, what to think about when you're putting your hampers together, and, all those little bit of extras that we can do to get it to the market. So let's start with, how do you choose your products for your hamper? So a couple of things we can think about here. So if you think about what people are buying during the Christmas period, okay? So let's say, for instance, people want to buy a pamper package or a pamper set of products for someone. We have exactly so many different products we can put in there. We have got the masks we can put in some aloe lips, we can put in some moisturizing lotions, anything that will, even the avocado soap as well, just thinking about that, anything that will help that person to create a lovely little pamper for that someone special that they want to give that to over the Christmas period. Second thing you can think about is the colognes and the perfumes that we have. I mean, we have got the absolutely wonderful 25th edition for both men and women. And you can make up little hampers, different ones, using other products with that. So let's have a look at, for instance, the men. For men, we can have our lovely 25th edition. And I've got some products here around me that I'm going to show. And then you can add, for instance, your Aloe Ever Shield to that. Or you can add your Gentleman's Pride, or you can add both. So it depends what you are looking to do, and of course, how much they are looking to spend on that hamper for that special man in their lives, or even for their father, or even for my son as a teenager now, and he's now started to shave. So something like that would be absolutely ideal for him. For women, for instance, we have got a wonderful 25th edition perfume spray. And with that, you can also add the Aloe Ever Shield and maybe something like aloe lips or anything like that, that will, of course, make that little package a little bit more special in that sense, if you want to look at it like that. Another thing, which is something that usually catches me off guard quite easily, is stocking fillers. Oh my goodness, stocking fillers is most probably one of the biggest things that I struggle with, because you've done your big presents, you've done the things that they asked for. So now that little bit extra, what are you going to put in? Now, to be honest with you, just looking at all the products I've got here, all of these products, I mean, the Forever Epi Blanc, and you've got your serum. You've even got some propolis cream you can pop in a stocking. It is all about, you know, what it is that the person is looking for that you are talking to. That can add that little stocking filler to their wonderful Christmas repertoire, can I call it that? The other side of things that we can look at is as well as looking at, for instance, the type of season you are in. Now, here in where we are, of course, in the UK and in Europe, it's now winter. So we are going to be looking at things like dry skin. Again, great way to introduce them to your gels, your drinking gels, to your propolis cream again, and of course, our lovely aloe vera jelly as well. So all of our products can be used for all of those purposes, you know, stocking fillers, big hampers, small hampers, little ideas, big ideas. It's all about what the person needs and wants to look at for that special person. Now, secondly, talking a bit about adding that little bit extra. Now, adding that little bit extra, I always say, add that bit that's going to help them to make that package basically that wow factor, if I can call it that. So you've got one of two ways you can do this. You can either maybe talk to them and recommend a little bit something extra that they can add, like a little box of chocolates, or for gentlemen, maybe the 25th edition that they want to buy for their wives, maybe a lovely necklace with that, anything like that that you can recommend. The other option is that maybe you can add a little something extra to the hampers, to each hamper that will make it sort of, let's say, see it like your hamper. Okay, something that came from your business, which is absolutely fantastic. But just make sure that you can get hold of it all, of course, and you don't run out somewhere just before Christmas. So just that little bit of extra thing that you can add or that you can recommend will always help people to make them go from, I like that, to, yes, I buy that type of situation. So third on my list there is our price categories. Now, when I create hampers, I create hampers that start from a small price all the way to a luxury hamper, okay? So having different price ranges is, in my opinion, always great to have. The reason for that is you don't always have the same amount of people spending the same amount of money. So you want to have all the options available for everyone. And make sure that you don't discount your products too much either, because you don't want to set a precedence of this is your new price, or they can expect this type of discount going forward either. So, it is important for you to also keep in mind that the more discount you give, the more you're going to eat into your profit. So just keep that in mind as well. Now, photos in marketing. Now, this is kind of something that I love to do. So when I put my hampers together, I usually take loads of photos. I'm going to try and see if I can share a couple of pictures for you. So that's what I did and threw together not too long ago. This is kind of the start of my photos for the season to come. And as you can see there, the different types of settings, the background, the lighting, and using things that people will recognize with the product, okay? So take some photos, have some fun with it, and use your own Christmas decorations. Now, unfortunately, my household, lots of decoration, but that's what, I kind of pulled together just there. So you can see how it's come together and things that people will recognize and remember as well. Now, when it comes to marketing, I would really recommend using a lot of the tips you've already heard today, from Steph and from Amanda as well. Use them, get these products out, do a little live video, or if you're comfortable doing that, or do a pre-recorded video and, share with the people the hampers you've got, the products you've got, and tell them, Christmas is not that far. So get in contact with the people and have a chat with everybody on your pages and on your groups. Okay. And my last point, guys, it is Christmas. Okay. It's Christmas time. It's the festive season. And just like for many other people, it's one of the best times for me. And just have fun doing your photos, have fun getting out there, talking to people and sharing the products with everyone. So I just wanted to say thank you very much. I really enjoyed sharing a couple of tips with you. And I'm now going to hand back to Debbie. Deb.
Hi, thank you so much. There's been loads and loads of people commenting, excuse me, asking questions. So I've just got a few questions and it could be Sorry, I've got a tickle in my throat now. I got a little bit too excited then. Lots of people asking questions, so let me just read one of those out for you. Can you create your own hampers on the Forever website and get it delivered directly to your customers?
Well, you should be able to, because you can add a product, you can add the different products. The only thing is if you were going to do a little bit extra, like maybe putting it in a beautiful bag, or, you know, a lovely little note to it, if that's something that you want to do, then that might not be what you're going to get there. You're going to just get the usual packaging then being sent out to the customer. So again, it's up to what you want to do with that.
I guess they could always use a courier as well if they want to make it really
exactly. Where you can put everything together.
Yeah, definitely. And do you promote your shop? It says genetically, but I think it says generically, or links for each item. How do you get orders for the hampers?
Okay, so I personally do put my hampers together and put it on my group and my page, and I do it then. That's why I say do the live video, because then people start talking to you, and you can kind of talk to them that way. But what I do is if people are looking for specific product, I will send, of course, the link to the shop for them to have a look at it and make sure that they are happy with that product before they take it.
Fantastic. And what games do you play on Zoom?
Oh, wow. What games? Oh, I don't really do those.
Maybe is Amanda still around? Amanda, do you play games?
Oh, I don't know where she is now.
She might be able to answer that on the...
There you go. Hey.
Oh yeah, sorry, I did miss that. What was that, sorry?
It says, what games do you use on Zoom?
Oh, you could do many a different thing, couldn't you? You could do like the cups. You could get a little shop cup, and you could put like the supplements in there and say how many is in there. Usually the ones at say if you were at a pamper party in person, we used to do the balloons. Actually, we used to put a little note in the balloon, so you could tell them to all have a balloon. Why not? And you could pop in there something, normally like a free prize draw or something. So that's what I would do normally in person. And we usually get them to pop it, and there's usually something inside for them to win. So yeah, that's what I'd normally do in person. Oh, there's all sorts of different things.
I know something that I've done is go and get them to find something that begins with a certain letter in their house, and the first person back gets a prize. It's always good to make it a little bit more interactive, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what else I do, because I'm put on spot now. I'm like, oh, what was that?
The crackers, maybe. We've got loads of crackers on a screen, people counting crackers.
Yeah, see how many's in there. Well, if you do think of any more, feel free to have answer on the Q&A and also on the chat box as well. But thank you so much, ladies. There was lots and lots of content in there. And have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Well done, Jean-Marie. Proud of you.
Okay, so we've got our next set of winners. So hopefully I'll pronounce these ones correct this time. So our third set of winners for the day is from the webinar attendees. We've got Evelyn Ducey, Kat Clark, Peter Musgrave, Savvy Taylor, and Terry Villas. So they will all be listed on there as well. So again, Forever branded Christmas wrapping paper, gift bags, and 3 aloe biocellulose masks. So we're going to have lots of happy mask faces, aren't we, on Facebook and social media over the next 24 hours or whenever they get their gifts. So thank you again to our last speakers. So next up we have the amazing Spencer Bridges. So he is the UK head of marketing. Spencer's worked at Forever's UK head office now since September 2015, and as I said, he's the head of marketing. His working background has always been within marketing, and in 2009 he graduated with his marketing degree. And there he is now. I can see you, Spencer, so I'm going to hand straight to you. Thank you.
Brilliant. I'm just going to try and share my screen. I don't know if it says host disabled attendees screen sharing. Sam, I don't know if you can do anything. If not, I can carry on without. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Thank you. There we go. Hopefully you can all see my screen now. So yeah, as Debbie said, I'm Spence. I've been working in the marketing team at head office now for over 5 years. Today, I'm just going to give you a quick update on what's going on in marketing at the moment. So hopefully, as you can see on the screen now, this month we are celebrating our fantastic range of bee products. So that's our focus across our digital platforms. You might have seen it already. In terms of products we're promoting, we are promoting the likes of Forever Bee Honey, Bee Pollen, Bee Propolis, and Royal Jelly as well. As always, we've provided you with social media assets to help you promote these products across your own channels. So make sure you take a look on Forever Knowledge. They're all available to download for free. Some of those are on the screen now. All of our product retail webinars as well are listed. So you've got some wellbeing ones, bee one. We're also obviously getting into Christmas, so we've got the giftable products as well for Christmas. All of the blogs are all obviously related to our bee products as well. So make sure you check out those. Again, they're all available for you guys to view and share across your own platforms on Forever Knowledge. And then this month, we also have a Halloween competition. So this will be on social media next week. So between Monday and Saturday, the 31st of October, if you share a picture of you or your children dressed up for Halloween, holding your favorite Forever product, and then hashtag Forever Halloween, you could be in with a chance of winning £250 worth of Forever products. So make sure you check that out. All of the details are on Forever Knowledge under this landing page where all of the bee related stuff is. Also, we'll obviously be promoting this on our social media pages. So make sure you check those out. Next up, just wanted to talk about the new and updated Advance Your Business Pack. So from Tuesday, the 10th of November, the contents and the price of the Advance Your Business Pack will be changing. So the new pack will include a range of key products plus a selection of retail tools and 6 new Forever branded cotton bags. So inside the pack, you've got everything you need to showcase Forever products in 6 easy to market, convenient packs. And all you need to do is pop the products into these branded bags and then begin recommending them to friends and family. So inside the Advance Your Business Pack will be a number of different packs, as I mentioned. So there's a personal care pack, and this contains a deodorant, tooth gel, and hand soap. Immunity pack, which is ImmuBlend and Pro B. A men's shaving pack, which has Gentleman's Pride and the aloe avocado soap and aloe scrub. The sports pack contains Light Ultra, Vanilla, and Super Greens. The kids health pack contains Aloe Peaches and Forever Kids. And then within this pack as well, there's a host of different, a load of different literature. So there's 10 product brochures, 10 Aloe Lifes, and then there's the 6 information cards to do with the different packs that I just mentioned. And obviously you get the 6 branded cotton bags as well to put those products in. Also coming up very soon is the essential oils. So the new essential oils will be coming out towards the beginning of November. So more information about that will be coming very shortly. All of the assets and information around this, including social media posts, new photography, hopefully you can see that on the screen now. There's a load of different new photography for the oils, as well as the product manual pages, which have got all of the key information about the oils in there. So they're seeing a revamp, and this will also mean that there's a few discontinuations from the previous essential oils that we had. So the Tri-Pack is getting discontinued. The Carrier Oil, Soothe, and Ease essential oils are all discontinuing. But all of the other remaining bottles now have a childproof cap. The Defense, so that's going to change bottles to a 15 milliliter bottle instead of a 10 milliliter. And then lemon, lavender, peppermint, we'll have the childproof cap as well as the updated packaging look and feel, which you can see on the screen now. Next up, Christmas. So obviously all of our speakers have been speaking about Christmas, and we on the screen now you can see we have some wrapping paper, ribbon, Christmas tissue, all available to purchase on the order line and through the product centres and online on the website in the next couple of weeks. We also have for free on Forever Knowledge, which you can download, a Christmas FBO order form and customer order form as well. So make sure you check those out. And to mention as well, we will also be doing a global gift giving campaign. So more information on this will be coming very shortly. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled on our website and social media pages, where we'll be giving some more information on this global gift giving campaign that all Forever countries will be getting behind. And then just finally from me, so in marketing, we have also been working on this skincare trial for the biocellulose mask. So we decided to put the mask to the test, and the results are on the screen now. Again, this is available for free on Forever Knowledge, so you can share that with your customers. So we had 854 people trial the mask for the first time and give us their feedback on it. And you can see some of the feedback on the screen now. So use the mask, they were great. They made my face tingle and feel tight and so lovely. So loads of different quotes on there. You can also see some of the results from it as well. So 86% of people said that their skin hydration had improved after using the mask. 82% saw an improvement in their skin smoothness as well. And you can just see some of the quotes there as well. And then also to mention, you probably have seen this across our digital platforms, but the mask has won another award on top of the Pure Beauty Award that it won last year. It has won Global Green Beauty Award 2020 Silver. So that's everything from me, Debbie. I'll hand you back.
Thank you, Spencer. Sorry, I couldn't get to my keyboard quick enough then.
That's okay.
I was taking photographs of your screen. Thank you so much. What I love about Forever is it's the giving back as well. You know, we're just doing our jobs and we win prizes for just doing our jobs. So people need to implement these things because you've got to be in it to win it, haven't you? So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that with us today. I won't ask you any questions because they can all just be directed to head office if anyone's got any questions on any of the content that you've been through today.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah, if anyone's got any questions, any advice, anything that they want help with, just contact us at head office and the marketing team. We've got some really talented people who will be able to help. So yeah, get in contact.
Brilliant. And from me and my team, I just want to thank you all for what you do, because it's great. And
thank you so much.
Very aesthetically pleasing, all of the marketing tools. So thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
You too. Okay, so again, thanks to Spencer for updating us on everything marketing wise today. So I'm going to introduce our next speaker. It is the amazing senior manager, Emma Smith. So Emma's a senior manager. She's been in the business for nearly 6.5 years now. She was a personal trainer and leisure club manager when she first joined, and she was just looking for an extra £200 a month. How many times have we heard all of that? Forever completely replaced her income, and within 5 months, Emma was able to leave her full-time role and do Forever. Since then, Emma's qualified for all of the company incentives and now works her business really flexibly around her 2-year-old daughter. So Emma, are you there?
Hey, I'm here.
Hi, yeah, we can see and hear you. I will hand over to you now. Thank you.
Thanks, Deb. Deb, you can see my slides, can't you?
I can, yes.
Fab. I always have a panic at the beginning, and it doesn't matter, does it, how often we do these trainings. I'm like, can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you see my slides? So at least everybody can see my slides, okay? So good morning, everyone. We are still on, aren't we, 11 o'clock. It is my absolute pleasure to be going through the next slot with you all this morning. My heart is racing. I am super, super excited after listening to all of the speakers so far. Let me know if you're the same as me and want to put your Christmas Christmas tree up now after listening to Beth. I even messaged my husband. So I am super pumped up. I'm really excited to go through the next part of the training, which is how your festive customers can support in growing your business into next year, into 2021 and beyond. Now, a lot of what I was going to say today, and a lot of the stuff I'm going to share, some people have already covered today, and I'm not going to make any apology for that, because that just shows that, you know, I've been in business 6.5 years, you know, and you heard Steph 7 years, a few of the other people that have spoken 6 years, 5 years, and it just shows we all do the same thing. We just all put our own little spin on it. So it shows that it works, and I think the more that you see the duplication of what we are doing, then of course the more exciting it's going to be, and the more focus you're going to have in your business. So let me just click on my next slide. So why now? Why now when we think about business? You'll all be super pumped up. You'll have lots of ideas, pens and paper at the ready. And I wanted to share some stats with you, because this is something that I recently shared, and I just think it is so, so powerful. Because again, Beth reiterated this at the beginning with a background in retail. My background obviously is in fitness, completely different. And when I looked at these figures, you know, and you realise how big the retail industry is in the golden quarter, which is now the last quarter of the year. The golden quarter is where retail makes the most profits. So October, November, December. And in the golden quarter, now these stats were based on pre-lockdown. So it was set that £27 billion was set to be spent in the UK alone in 2020 in the golden quarter, so October to December. Now, obviously, it's been a little bit difficult trying to, you know, look at more updated stats from lockdown, but that is now set to increase even further, because more and more people, you know, are just spending. They're just spending, and they're online. But even if they didn't, £27 billion is set to be spent. And what are we on today? The 17th. We're already 17 days into this 90-day craziness. And we've got to remember, we are a retail company. The products are the bread and butter of our business. So you are a business owner within a retail company within the golden quarter where retail makes its most profit. If that is not exciting enough, I don't know what is. Of course, we've already said that we have Black Friday as well. Now, this year date for your diary is November the 27th. So get that in your diary, because that is another opportunity within business where you can have a massive peak in sales. And it is more just about getting organised and getting ahead of the game, because last year in 2019, sales increased by 148% compared to the day before. So on Black Friday, there was an increase by 148% in the UK. Versus the day before. If that is not another massive opportunity for us to get our products out there, I don't know what is. We've got Panic Saturday as well. So Panic Saturday is the Saturday before Christmas, so the last Saturday before Christmas. And I always joke and say this is where you will see more men ordinarily out and about in the shops. No disrespect to the men, but my husband is definitely one of those people. The Saturday before, they panic. And then you'll find that lots of us all who are organised and have got their Christmas done. I know my mum's already done her Christmas shopping. It pains me every year how on the ball she is, but she will still be one of them people that will go out on Panic Saturday and think, did I buy this person enough? Do they think they'll like that gift? And everybody will be spending right up until the brink, right up until the cut-off for Christmas. So again, another great stat, £1.2 billion was spent last year, the Saturday before Christmas in the UK. 1.2 billion. Now, of course, we will get word from head office pretty soon, I'd have thought, as to when our Christmas cut-offs will be, to make sure that we can get the products ordered and sent to us, and make sure we're in time for Christmas. But head office, and in combination with FedEx, are normally awesome when it comes to this, and give us a really generous cut-off. So that can be like your panic week, and make sure that everybody knows the dates, knows the cut-offs, and you just maximise on that opportunity. Now, the scary part of it is almost half of Brits paid for Christmas last year with credit cards and overdrafts, which is scary, really, isn't it? And crazy. And I'll be honest and say, previous to Forever, 6.5 years ago, that was me. You know, I would be paying on a credit card. I would definitely be in my overdraft. Like Debbie said at the beginning, I joined just to earn an extra couple of £100 a month, because I was one of those people that had too much month and not enough money. And my overdraft got me through till the payday. You know, the last 5 or 6 days of the month was borrowed money. So Christmas for me 6.5 years ago was definitely not with my own money, you know. And even scarier, 1.2 million people paid for Christmas last year with payday loans. So what that shows is, you know, people will do whatever it takes and will spend, and these people will then spend the rest of the year. If they're like me, I would then be paying off my credit card till May or June time from Christmas to then start again. It's just a spiral, isn't it, if you like? So it shows people will do whatever it takes, they will spend. And again, reiterating what Beth said, I know in our family, we are going to make this the best Christmas. My husband has already said what fancy lights he's putting on the house, how he's decorating for our little girl. She's nearly 2.5, so she's really starting to understand now. And he said it doesn't matter where we are, lockdown, no lockdown, limbo, wherever we are, he's just going to make it super special. So we've now got to be thinking about getting that structure in place now for 2021, because we always talk about lead up time, don't we? The 6 to 8 week lead up time, 8 to 10 week lead up time when it comes to both product and with our business, with introducing people to the business. So think about everything that we can create over the golden quarter, and lots of that will be instant sales that have come through that you probably don't expect. Again, if you put into practice everything you've learned today and get yourself out there, be your own, you know, shop window, so to speak, that momentum will definitely drive you into 2021. So what you have got to remember now is that a couple of things you've got to remember is you've got to look after your existing customers to begin with. So think about how much your retail can grow in the next 10 weeks based on those stats. It is very easy to lose track of customers. It's very easy to get the customers in, get the products in, earn the profit, be, you know, riding high, and then just forget about people. And it is really, really important that we don't do that. And lots of people make that mistake. The amount of time I have had people who've come up to me in the past, previous to lockdown, at fairs, stalls, events, and said, I can't remember who I bought off. I bought something 2 years ago, or I had that heat lotion a couple of years ago. I don't know where they went. And I just think it's so poor from a business point of view that you've let that person disappear. So think about your existing customers. Start looking after them now. Be that cut above the rest. And I, you know, when you hear me do trainings, you know I'm super passionate about product and recommending and customers and looking after them. You have got to be that business owner that they shout about. You've got to be that person that they will send recommendations to and referrals to, and that they won't forget. So what I've done with my existing customers, with all of their orders that they were putting through, probably from about the middle of September. It was September because one of my customers messaged me saying, you're absolutely mental putting this in my bag, but thought it was funny. The Christmas personal shopper form you can see on the right, I have been putting those in all of my existing customer orders or any new customers that come through, and just letting them know that I'm offering a personal shopper service, because what then triggers their mind straight away, because I've had a couple of these back already, is, oh, that saves me time. Lots of people, I mean, we don't know where we're going to be at, do we, with anything at the moment, but lots of people have already said categorically, I won't be going shopping, I won't be braving the Christmas madness. I'm in Manchester, and I know the Trafford Centre last Saturday actually got closed because people started panicking, thinking we were going back into lockdown, and the Trafford Centre just ended up like a mass brawl. It was 3 hours to get out of the car park. It was horrendous, and that in itself near me has put people off. Nobody is going shopping, everybody is turning to online. So get your business out there now. Personal shopper forms in the gift bags of all of my existing customers, letting them know that I'm offering them a personal shopper service. They can pick the budget, they can tell me who it's for, I can put something together for them, and then getting into a conversation with them if they, you know, they've got a budget of £50 and they'd like to send me £20 in October, £20 in November, £10 in December. I'm offering that for them as well, because they are my existing customers. I want to look after them and make it as stress-free as possible. I've got gift vouchers as well, so you can buy the gift vouchers online from the web store, and again, just an easy option for people. I have got, probably over the last couple of years, hundreds of pounds worth of gift vouchers over the last couple of Christmases. And again, no disrespect to the guys, but it tends to be the week before Christmas, the men on my social media like, give us a £50 voucher. Or Alex, my husband, will come home from work and say, a couple of lads have asked for some gift vouchers. You know, and that is because they don't want to brave the shops, they don't know what to get, and going home with a £50 voucher for the missus for Christmas so they can get themselves some skincare or some nice products, they've won, haven't they? It's a winner. I certainly would love gift vouchers to be able to purchase my own products, as opposed to being bought a product that I wouldn't really use. So get your gift vouchers out there. Just remember though, with your gift vouchers, that if you have got, you know, £200, £300, £400 worth of cash coming in for the gift vouchers, don't spend it, because then what's going to happen, Boxing Day, the week between Christmas and New Year, all these people are going to get in touch with you to put your orders in. So don't think that that is pure profit. People always forget this part. You've got to then make sure that you've got that, well, the money that you need for the product aside. But what I love about the gift vouchers is they are not going to be in your December sales necessarily. So the gift vouchers are stepping you into January. I would say 50% of the gift vouchers I get hit me in January. I get a few that trickle in on Boxing Day and the day after for weight management products. People want to put them towards a Clean 9 or a Fit, but the bulk come through in January. So you know that straight away those gift vouchers have sold, but the case credits are going to be in your business in Jan. So you're already thinking 3 or 4 months ahead. Offers for repeat orders, it's your business, it's totally your call. But what I do when I've got existing customers, I really look after them. So if I know I've got a regular gel drinker, you know, who's bought a couple of bottles from me, after them consistently buying, I would then offer them a little offer on the tri-pack. Make them feel special, make them feel that they're a little bit different to Joe Bloggs, who just turns up and pays the same price as them. And I'll use an example. I'm a runner, I do a lot of running, and I spend a lot of money in a local running shop near me. Must be mad, just spent a fortune on another pair of trainers yesterday. But because I am always in that shop yesterday, he just gave me discount without even questioning it. And I questioned it, I was like, is that right? And he was like, Emma, you spend enough in it, you can have discount. And that for me went a long way, especially how much I spent in there yesterday. And that will make me go back. So he's recognised I'm a regular customer, give me a discount, and it goes a long, long way. And what I also do with my existing customers, and I've just started writing some more out this morning, I send all of my existing customers a Christmas card, and I put a little gift in or a voucher in. So depending on my customer, depends on what they get. And I don't mean that in a harsh way. I mean, if I've got a customer and I have got one that spends at least £100 a month on products via myself, I've put her a £20 gift voucher in her Christmas card and just said, hey Vicky, hope you and your family have a lovely Christmas, thank you for supporting my business and being an amazing customer, a little treat from me. And it is a £20 gift voucher. But what I do, sneaky or not, I send that card a little bit later on in December, so I sort of know that I've got my December order from them, if that makes sense. So my regular customers, I try and chase up with everybody at the beginning of the month to get my regular customer orders in, and then let that Christmas card drop, so I know then that that's going to hit in effect from January. And if it's a customer that maybe just buys something small, a couple of tooth gels, a soap, I'll just pop them a little lip balm in, or maybe you know, the avocado soap I absolutely love, I think it is amazing value for money. I just pop them a little present and a card in the post, and again, people are blown away by that. They absolutely love it. So they're your existing customers. Then you've got to think about gaining your new customers. So we've already spoke about this. The girls have already covered this amazingly well. So online Christmas markets and stalls. Now I was a bit, how is this going to work? But now we have adapted, haven't we, since March online. I'm super excited because, for instance, I've got 7 online market stroke stalls, and I've got one on Wednesday next week where I'm dedicated the day on a page. And as much as I could stand in a church hall or in an event all day, you know, you've got to be out there, you've got to be speaking to people, you've got to set up your stall, you've got to pack your stall up, you've got to do all of this. On Wednesday, I have got the day on this page. I think there's something like 12,000 people on this page at the moment for Wednesday, and I've got free run of the page for the day. I can go live, I'm going to do demonstrations, you name it. My skin's going to be glowing by the end of Wednesday because I'm going to do the face mask, I'm going to put the bio mask, I'm going to absolutely hammer the page. I would never be able to do that. Well, I could, but it would be quite difficult, you know, at a Christmas fair or a stall or a pop-up or anything like that. So I know I'm going to gain a bucket load of new customers by doing these online Christmas markets and stalls. And I'm going to put it out there and say, for anybody that is doing the Christmas markets and stalls, try your very best if you can. Pluck up the courage, get out your comfort zone and do lives on there as opposed to posts, because Facebook in general, if you're doing them on Facebook, loves lives and will create audiences for you, whereas posts and static posts can be missed. So depending on people's notifications, they will see the live and maybe not your post, so you don't want to miss a trick with that. You've always got to be promoting yourself and your business. So I heavily on the social media side use my stories more than I do the actual static posts, because the stories are gone in 24 hours and I love it. And I do little stories every time my products come. I talk about products. I do like the little gift voucher boomerangs, the personal shopper, because they're in, out, they're in, they're out. And I don't feel that I'm hammering my normal social media. But my stats looking at social media show I get much more people view my stories than you get the comments and reactions to my actual static posts. Now, of course, unless people like and comment, I would never be able to accurately see that. But when I can see that there's on average around 700 people looking at my stories, I'll take that 24 hours in, out, in, out. And it's just that exposure all the time. Stats show that it takes people up to 7 exposures of something before they bite. And I use the example every time of Domino's. How many times have you had a Domino's pizza leaflet posted through your letterbox, and the first one goes in the bin and the second one ends up in a magazine somewhere, then the third one the dog eats, and then you might put one in the drawer, and after I'm going to try this, I'm just going to order one of them pizzas, we'll have a Domino's leaflet in the house. And if you have got the takeaway menu drawer like lots of people do, you will have a Domino's menu in there, so you'll get where I'm coming from. So you've got to be that person that just dips in, all the, just make sure that everybody knows she's there, Christmas gift ideas, Secret Santa, everything that is going on. You can gain new customers massively from referrals, and you can get referrals if you are a good business owner doing a good job. So go back to the last slide that I had where I was talking about looking after your customers. If you were on the receiving end of good customer service, would you recommend that person? Because I know now on the back of the customer service I've had it up and running at the bottom of my, near my road where I buy, I will recommend anybody go into that shop and speak to the guy that has served me 100%. I won't be paid for that referral, but the customer service he gave and the way he recognised me and looked after me goes a long way. So looking after your customers, ask for the referrals, ask on your customer pages, ask your regular customers, do you know anybody that might benefit from being in on my page? Do you know anybody that might benefit from me sending them the personal shopper forms, the brochures, the Christmas ideas, whatever it may be. And I know we've discussed the Dear Neighbour letters as well, but Dear Neighbour letters, I normally do the Dear Neighbour letters. I do the same areas every so often because, again, remember the 7 exposures. Don't just do one Dear Neighbour letter on your estate, get nothing from it and feel like it doesn't work. You've got to go again. You've got to go again. You've got to go again. And you've got to hit different areas as well. You don't have to just do your streets, so do different areas, maybe have something different on it each time. So my Dear Neighbour letters that, to be fair, I've done half just last week, and then I've got some more that I'm going to pop out over the next couple of weeks. I have attached that personal shopper Christmas form to my Dear Neighbour letter, basically just saying hey, me again, why not? They've had a letter from me before. I'm offering a personal Christmas shopper service. Because you're local, there's free postage and packaging as well, and basically just along those lines. And that isn't me telling you what to say, just go be you. Be you and write on that letter and attach what you would expect or how you would speak to your neighbour if you bumped into them. Don't try and post something that doesn't even sound like it's come from you. And I'm letting all my estate know, all my street know, because you know what, it might just take somebody to be like, you know what, I'm all about supporting local businesses. Let's see what this girl's got to offer. And it probably took me just around, I only live on a smallish estate, but I can go right down a local area, and I think I posted maybe about 200, and I bet it didn't even take me an hour. An hour of my time. Get yourself out there, get your fitness up, just think about the people that you could speak to. Christmas gift ideas, I don't need to cover that any more than it's already been covered. They're just a few pictures of the ideas that I did last year. The baubles go down an absolute storm. I've got mine behind me actually, ready to go. Baubles, aloe lips and a chocolate in there. I've actually bought bigger baubles this year so I can fit an eye cream in. So I'm going to do like a bauble and a premium bauble that's going to have a lip balm and an eye cream in. So yeah, think out of the box, because things like that, gift ideas from £5, £6, £10, they're great secret Santas, they're great stocking fillers, they're the products that everybody is looking for. And of course your experience packs when it comes to gaining new customers. You can get products out there to try, but I'll repeat what I said on the last training. I'm not so much giving people products to try that are open like your traditional experience packs we used to do. I'm massively promoting the 60-day money back guarantee and using that as their trial experience. So I'm saying, look, you can purchase the product, you can try it, you can use it, and if you genuinely hand on heart can say it is not for you, then you can have your money back. 6.5 years in business and I have never ever had anybody return the product. And you know what, a joke say it's not for the one to try it, because I am that person that tells everybody about that money back guarantee. So when it comes to your customer service, because again, thinking about the title of my training, this is to take you into momentum for next year. So you've got to make sure you absolutely nail this now, because it is just going to put you in perfect structure. If you are maybe just retailing a case credit at the moment and want to take your business to 2 or 2 to 4 or 4 to 8, whatever it may be, this is what is going to do it. And by setting these wheels in motion now, you know you're going to go into 2021 in prime position to achieve all of your goals. I get super excited at this time of the year because I know it's really time to get the wheels in motion, and it's like the rocket power into January. But I always say a customer isn't a customer until they buy a second time. So they're like a trial customer. So if somebody messages me and says, I want to try the gel, that is exactly what they're doing. They are trying the gel. When they then buy again from it, they are then a customer. So it is your job to turn that person from a trial customer to a customer, and you will only do that by good customer service, by making sure they understand to put the gel in the fridge, by how much they need to drink, what the benefits of it are, following up with them. Do they like it? Do they need any help? And it might sound silly. Do you need any help with your drinking gel? People can get anything wrong, you know? So don't be lazy. Follow up. Even if they buy a lip balm, customer service goes a long way. Follow up, because a lip balm can turn into a tooth gel, can turn into a clean 9, can turn into great results and become a business owner. You don't know. You have to look after your customers. And like I said, get those referrals in. Customer pages. So I have got a customer page. I know lots of people have got a customer page. Your customer page then is your domain. You can do on there what you wish. It is totally up to you when it comes to what products you advertise. Some people prefer to just do the skincare. Some people prefer to just post about animal care. Some people prefer to just post about weight management. It is totally up to you. But I think a nice little customer page where it's a safe environment for people to post if they want to. You can build a bit of a rapport with your customers. A nice bubbly page where you can then just expose people to products throughout the year is just a really nice page to have. And what I would take from what I do with my page, I have done little videos, little demos. So as an example, I have done a demonstration where I use the cleanser, the exfoliator, I do like a full skincare regime, and then I pop a bio mask on. And it might sound silly, but people don't buy skincare because they don't know how to use it. Before me doing the training, I didn't know which way around you use the cleanser, exfoliator, toner. No idea. You know, so to do that, people then see the pattern, they see the gist, they know how to open a bio mask up. I've had people, you know, I've heard people in other business owners and teams say their customers have put the bio mask on without taking it out of the protective layers. So by doing a video as an example on my customer page, then if Joe Blog says to me, look, I'm looking at buying some of those bio masks for my sister or my mum, like, what's the deal with them? Like, how do they work? What is it? I can just tag them in my video. Can't do them justice on a message. Certainly can't demonstrate it on a message. I say, look, I did a little video on it. Let me share it with you. And then I can tag them in. If people ask about, I have people all the time saying, how do you mix the fibre, or how do you mix the super greens? I've done videos as simple as on my page, and then I just tag people in. So it's more like a a product information page. It saves me a lot of time when I'm trying to run my business around a crazy 2-year-old, and it also keeps that customer service on point because everybody can have the information they want access to straight away. Obviously, we can do your offers, you can do incentives, you can do whatever you like. Online parties, we've already discussed online parties. Get your online Christmas parties in. I've been doing skincare events where, again, I've been getting customers to purchase some of the skincare. We do a little online pamper, and they have been working really well in lockdown, because now what's happened, not only have I gained quite a good skincare customer base, they are now in a confident position to be buying skincare for their friends and family for Christmas. But always remember with your customers as well, you've got to offer the business opportunity. You have got to offer the business. Never forget to offer the business opportunity, because what's the worst that can happen? They say, no, I'll just keep buying from you. But I always joke and say to my customers, look, obviously there's a business behind the product. Do you want to take a look? I can send you some information to have a little nosy at. It might not be for you, that's absolutely fine, but even if you just want to get started to buy your products cheaper. And I have a bit of a joke, and I make a point of saying, well, you might as well get them cheaper as opposed to, give it me making the profit, because they know how it works. And quite a few will say, do you know what, Noem, I'm quite happy being a customer. But then people do look at it and see the business opportunity, and half of them will get started to just buy the products at wholesale and maybe just recommend to the friends and family. And then I've gone on to build, especially in lockdown, 3 ladies did that and all 3 went to supervisor. I'm like, well, I'm not done bad considering you just joining for cheaper products. So always offer the business opportunity, because it's just a cycle, isn't it? Share the product, share the business. If people say no to the business, I then divert them to the products, and we just keep going round, because it might just be timing. But if they've seen the business, then of course, when the timing is right for them, they will come back to you. Now, I always share this slide. This is the updated, clicking ahead. This is the updated slides with the updated figures. But I actually took on board what Beth said about she uses 1 case credit as £75, and it makes complete sense, because this is the actual profit you make at each level on the marketing plan. But I like the fact that if you are an assistant supervisor retailing a case credit and you base that on £75, that's going to give you another £11 to play about with if you've got postage and packaging you don't want to charge your customer. I do, I'm quite tight. I do charge my customers postage and packaging. But I'm a business, and businesses out there charge postage and packaging, and I pay lots of postage and packaging, so I wouldn't expect not to, but again, it's your call. So I always like to share this, because you've got to be thinking now, what goal or goals do you have going into 2021? What do you want to have achieved by the end of the year? Promotions, like Steph Barnsby said, you can absolutely achieve promotions this time of, you can achieve promotions any time of the year, but it's a lot easier this time of the year when you have got that ready-made customer base rolling at your feet if you are working. So think about what you want to be doing in the new year. Is it an income goal? Is it a promotion goal? I always look at the income side of things, especially if you're new in business as well, because if I've got a new business owner that starts and I start talking in case credits, they're like, what? I'm like, you want to earn £200 this month? I've just got to show you how to do 2.5 case credits. I break that down then in a couple of products, and they're like, is that it? Like, yeah, you recommend those products this month and you will earn you £250. That's what they need to know. They've attached that monetary value to it. Now, I would look at this now and think, what is my Christmas going to cost me? Look at Beth's goal board at the beginning, and then this is a great chart for you to screenshot and be a great visual to have, because so often we just brush off case credits, don't we? We brush them off and think, yeah, I'm chasing 2 case credits. Oh, I want my 4 case credit pin. I want my 4 case credit pin. And it's funny, because I'll say to people, and they've done the 4 case credit pin, assistant supervisor, they've done the level 1 pin. I'm like, that is absolutely amazing. You've earned over £1,000 in 3 months. Like, have I? I'm like, yeah, think about it. And they add it up and they're like, oh my God, I was just going for the pin. And they forget about the amazing income that they've earned. So think about what it is that you want and have that focus, because I have done this lots of time. I've done it with my wedding. I've done it when I had my little girl. I've done it when I got my house. And I just pushed myself, because doing that extra 2 case credits this month will earn me an extra £226. 3 case credits, 4 case credits, because we've got to pay for our own Christmases as well. So going into 2021, with everything that you have learned from today alone and more to come, you now know that you can get that solid retail base on the back of the next, it's 10 weeks work now, isn't it, alone. So you've got to ask yourself the question, am I prepared to work? Because this business works if you work. And if you are treating it like a business, it will pay like a business. People are ready to spend money, as you saw. It is the golden quarter. It is the retail boom. Remember, you have got that retail business and make it happen. Happy customers bring more customers. Always remember that. Keep your customers happy. They bring in more customers. Keep them happy. Bring in more customers. The easiest way to gain more customers is your customers who do you know list, and their who do you know list, and their who do you know list. But it is down to you. Never ever forget the business opportunity for customers, because what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks, people are going to be so hooked up with life and Christmas and lockdown and no lockdown and everything else that's going on in the world. They're going to buy the products. They're going to watch your journey. They're going to watch your business. And you know what? For those that are not ready for business right now, they will look in the new year and be like, I'm ready to get started. I always say that. I say, if people are not, if they're sort of on the edge this time of year, there will be people get started. There'll be people that get started today. There'll be people that get started next week, November, Christmas Eve, Boxing Day, whenever it may be. But it will just flow. It will flow into January. January then, normally is where sales take a bit of a dip. Think about the January sales. Think about everybody after Christmas is like, what sales are on? Where can I go? Because retail knows that they've had a massive hit in the Christmas period. So they offer lots of things on offer. With our company, we don't have to do that. Yeah, you might take a little bit of a dip on your skincare or your gift ideas and whatnot, because they're a seasonal product and our skincare can last a little bit longer than a month. But what happens then? Everybody's put on weight over Christmas and New Year. So we put the gift ideas aside and we come in with our new C9 and Fit campaigns. And head office being amazing, will have the best marketing. They'll have the best promotions going on from Boxing Day right through to January, February. And from a fitness background, the first quarter of the year is a boom. Not everybody, you know, when people say everybody joins the gym in January, everybody wants to look good, feel good. The biggest month actually for people joining the gym is February, because people in January tend to try and diet first and then join the gym at the end of Jan, beginning of Feb. So we've got Jan, Feb and March where we have a massive boom in C9 sales. So get that momentum kicked in now, get those customers in place, get yourself on the board, be that business owner that people are shouting about, and then just roll on the momentum. The momentum will kick in and you will go into 2021 absolutely flying, and we'll have an amazing customer base and people ready to get started in business. So that is all from me, and I hope that helps.
Very much. So we've got loads of questions for you. It's like they've saved them all for you, Emma.
Brilliant.
So it's mainly around some of the vouchers that you talked about and the list. So one from Ken says, where do you get the personal shopper forms from?
Oh, I made them. I just made the personal shopper form. Yeah. So, and I'm not very creative, so I just made my personal shopper form. So,
okay. Where do you get the Christmas shopping forms? Did you say Forever Knowledge?
Yeah, well, on the web store. So I used to buy them at Success Day, but all that stuff's gone on the web store now. So the vouchers and everything you can buy on there, the yellow and black.
Perfect. And how long are your vouchers valid for?
Well, on the back of the vouchers that you buy online, they have got 12 months from the date issued. So if you didn't want to honour that, then of course you could make your own or get your own designed or do whatever. But I'm quite happy with the 12 months. Because they never, ever, ever take 12 months to come through. If somebody buys a gift voucher, it burns a hole in people's pocket, doesn't it? If somebody sent me a gift voucher, I wouldn't just put it in my purse for 12 months. I would spend it. So.
Absolutely. Where do you find your online Christmas markets and stalls?
To be fair, when I've been on Facebook, I've just seen people advertising different stalls. And then when I've been added to lots of groups. You know, when people I've very much found that people are just adding me to groups, because what happens when you are in the group, they ask you as somebody who's going to be a stall holder to invite your friends and family to the group.
Yes.
So other stall holders tend to be inviting me to the group and then messaging admin saying, have you got a Forever Living business owner? No. And then I'm in. Otherwise, what I've been doing is just really simple on Facebook, because I'm doing a lot of it on Facebook. It can be anywhere. Just searching in the search bar, Christmas Online Fair, Manchester Christmas Online, and they're coming up. And some of them I've messaged and they've said, we've already got someone from Forever, which is absolutely fine. But if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah, definitely. When you offer the BP opportunity to people and you said you send in a short video, what video is that you normally would send?
And when I send a short video, I've just got a really quick link, my own link. But you can use any, the actual Forever one is fantastic. There's a short Forever link that you can use, which I'll be honest, I do send that sometimes. I sort of know my prospects. If it's somebody I know and I know quite well, I don't send them my link. I send them the Forever one because it's super professional. Not saying mine isn't, but they don't need to hear a video about Emma that they've known for 20 years, you know? So a mix between the Forever one or my own link.
Excellent. And when you do your stories, do you put your website address on it?
No, I don't on my stories. No, I'll do like a call to action sometimes. So I'll press the little DM me box so that they can just message me, or I'll do the little polls on the story. As long as there's a call to action on there. It's just, I don't do it in the like praying that people will buy. It's just for exposure purposes, and people do buy it in the end. So if you've got some form of call to action so people feel like open that they can message you, or open to clicking on your poll and then I'll click the results and message people, that tends to work.
Excellent. And do you have a minimum spend with your vouchers?
And the vouchers no, I don't. No, and because the smallest vouchers are £5, and I don't think I'd give them to some of my customers. But I think when you've got a voucher, I've never really had someone I've never had someone give me a £5 voucher back and say, can I have 2 lip balms?
Yeah.
You know, but if they did, they did.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, a lip balm might turn into a tooth gel, might turn into something bigger, and you never know. But no, I don't have a minimum spend.
Brilliant. Right, we will leave you in peace because you've just shared an amazing amount of content. People need to watch this back. I know we've had a few questions on where will the recording of this be. So if team members have been at work today or whatever else, it will be on Forever Knowledge for everybody to watch all of this back, because there is so much stuff that you need to implement into your businesses. But thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us today, Emma.
Thank you.
So we've got our next set of winners, and I believe that they're from Instagram again. So the final set of winners today is at Lucy_McGuinness, at Aloe Moore, at Vicky.Baker5458, at Aloe_small_changes, and at Forever Aloe Couple GB. So what you all need to do, so you all win your Forever branded Christmas paper, wrapping paper that you just saw Spencer talking through, the gift bags, and also 3 aloe biocellulose masks. All the winners need to email events-uk@flp.ltd and claim their prize, detailing your Forever ID and your postal address, and they'll be delivered to you within the next 2 weeks. So well done to all of those winners. You've all done amazingly well doing the hashtag Forever Excellence today. So on to our final speaker. So our final speaker is Sapphire Manager Gemma Easton. You will have mostly all heard from Gemma before. So Gemma joined Forever in 2013, a business that she built alongside her 15-year career retailing for John Lewis. So she'll tell you her story and the connection with Beth. Gemma and her partner Gary spent the first year of their business developing a strong foundation, and in February 2015 they decided to solely focus on Forever full-time. And today they're Sapphire managers, really strong leaders who focus on developing their team and maintaining a respectable business. So over to you, Gemma, are you there?
Good morning. It is still morning. Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, all good, thank you. I'm going to hand straight over to you because I know we'll ask you questions at the end too.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good morning everybody, and wow, what a fantastic event it has been. So much information to help us all have a fantastic final quarter of the year. This morning, let me just share my screen. I'm just going to make sure I'm working. Yes, I am. Okay, so this morning I'm excited to be sharing a topic that is extremely close to my heart. And the reason why the power of believing in ourselves is so close to my heart is because this was something that I had to really embrace to make it possible in 2014 to build a business that gave me so many different choices. And I think, you know, it's fair to say, and feel free to communicate with me in the chat box about this, often we know what we need to do. So there may be the odd occasion at the very, very beginning of our business when we're facing something brand new that we've never encountered before, or we know we've got to, you know, find a way of learning a new skill that we've never ever practiced. But 9 times out of 10, the reality for most of us each day is we know what we need to do. But it's this feeling of sometimes frustration around, why can't I just seem to get to where I want to go, to achieve that goal, to feel a certain way? Because logically you understand it, but sometimes the logic in your head is a million miles away from how you feel or the confidence and the belief you have to get where you want to go. So we're going to spend a bit of time this morning, 20-25 minutes, really looking at different ways we can build our belief. Different things to consider around maybe why you feel the way you feel at the moment, linked to your beliefs or your confidence. I've got quite a lot of information here this morning, and I smile because I can hear Steph Barnsby in my head as I've just said that, and I would ask you to consider with me exactly what Steph asked you to consider in her first slot this morning, which is you're going to see a lot of information. This isn't about necessarily taking every single thing and making it work for you. It's about sharing with you some thoughts, a selection of information for you to consider, and then even just embracing a couple of things to help you build the power of your belief. So let me take you back. Let me take you back to my reality in 2013. Like you, I had a story in my life back then. And my reality in the autumn of 2013 was, on paper and physically, if you knew me in my life back then, my life, if you were looking in on it, looked great. You know, it looked great. A lot of people in my professional or my family friendship circles, their perception of Gemma was at that time, she's worked really hard, she's climbed the corporate ladder, independent, this confident person who, you know, is ticking a lot of boxes in life. But yet it didn't feel that way to me. I was extremely grateful for the opportunities that my career had given me. And, you know, John Lewis really was my university, because I wasn't great in school. You know, I wasn't a bad pupil, but I was somebody who, you know, I scraped by, got the grades I needed. And then when I didn't need to be at school, I was so happy to leave and enter the world of work. You know, university was not going to be a great fit for me, because I am that practical style of person who loves to be around people. And my preference is face-to-face communication as opposed to learning and studying. So when I got into the world of work, you know, I suppose a little bit like forever is for many of us now, John Lewis became this extended family for me. And for 15 years, that was a huge part of my life that I adored. And it was much more than work. You know, it became my way of life. It became the place where I grew as a person, where people were believing in me, where I could make mistakes, learn, grow, and start to develop a life in my 20s and my early 30s that gave me the opportunity, you know, to be on the property ladder and to start growing. But I got to a place, you know, 7 years ago in the autumn of 2013 where something was missing. I knew it was missing. And it was very hard to describe, but all I knew and I felt was, this isn't where I'm meant to be. I believed at that time that I was destined to be somewhere else. And maybe you can relate to this feeling of knowing that you're not fulfilling your potential, knowing that you're not truly satisfied. And one of the biggest telltale signs in my life back then was I always used to jump job to job. You know, I'd do a job, do a good job. I was very motivated for the first 3-6 months. You know, I was eager and working with urgency, you know, to achieve goals, to do things. But then it was always a case of, right, what next? What next? And I suppose I started to recognize I can't do this throughout my whole life, because the biggest sacrifice in my corporate job, and again, maybe this is the same for you, was I spent a lot of time there, and I was sacrificing, as Beth said, you know, I was sacrificing Christmases. The most I got when I went back to Newcastle to spend Christmas with my family was 2 days, because I had to be on a shop floor for close down on Christmas Eve, and I needed to be back first thing on the 27th of December. And if the weather was bad on Boxing Day, I needed to be on a motorway on Boxing Day to make sure that I was not putting the business of John Lewis at risk by me not being where I needed to be on the morning of the 27th, normally at 7 o'clock in the morning, to get ready for the first day of sales starting at 9. So I was in a place where, you know, I loved what I did when I was at work, but I was tired. I had no real awareness back then of the impact that was taking on my health. You know, I became a bit of a master at living with anxiety. You know, I haven't got enough time today to talk about anxiety. Gosh, I could spend all day with, you know, people who have maybe felt like I have in the past, but I've started to develop a lot of coping mechanisms for managing sleep deprivation, having a really bad diet where I wasn't feeding my body the right nutrition. I didn't understand how important it was to be moving my body and the impact that had on my brain. And I was just at a point where a change was needed. And when Forever came along, what I really believed in hugely was the power of Forever. The stories that were there for 4 decades to support that Forever worked. I believed in that so much. I used a product, a drinking gel, before I bought my Start the Journey pack. You know, in fairness, I only drunk it for, you know, a few days, a week maybe beforehand, and then I bought the business box. I believed in the products, but what I had to work incredibly hard at was believing in myself. And for the first 3 months in the business, I really believed in the vision of what was possible, but maybe those chinks in my own strength and me as a person were starting to be exposed a little bit. Because how easily do we go from a place of, yes, yes, I can do this, to suddenly thinking, but can I? That voice that creeps in when you least expect it, that says, who are you kidding? Do you think you can? You know, me being so excited about, right, if they can do this, all of those people, you know, that we see on stage and on videos, if they can all do that, you know, if all of those people could get up to senior, maybe I could get up to manager. But then thinking, okay, but Gemma, how are you going to do that when you have to go and meet strangers and you know that that's what makes you anxious? How are you going to do that when you know you've got to do that after work, when you're struggling already to fit things in? And this self-talk was something that was very, very real in the autumn and the winter of 2013. But the biggest shift actually was a conversation, ironically, on Christmas Day. And that conversation was with Beth. So Beth and I were working together at this point. We'd been working together in Forever for about 2 months at this point. And we had a really open and honest conversation, which was a conversation all around the fears we were carrying. And it was a combination of the fear of success, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of not being good enough. And throughout this long conversation, we came to a conclusion, which was, if we can get into a place of working with such certainty and taking enough action and just follow the plan and trust that action and the plan of action that comes in that First Steps to Manager book, that if we did that and we did that consistently and just kept taking action even on the days where we didn't want to, and made that a choice over the self-talk, the fear, rejection, and all of that other stuff, we said, let's just see where we are 12 months from now. And you know, that, looking back, that was one of the most significant moments. That Christmas of 2013 was one of the most significant moments in my business. It was the decisions that were made for a week, 2 weeks in the December of 2013 that have allowed myself and Gary to live the life and have the choices that we do today. Now, the other story behind that conversation was, you know, at home, there was a moment of certainty with Gary and I where we were saying, look, you know, we've had really good times and hard times with his previous business, and we'd looked at forever. And again, with certainty, we were both saying, this is the best vehicle we have seen that can deliver. When I went home that year for Christmas with certainty, I said to my parents, this will be my last year in retail. This is it. I was very emotional. I was tired. I remember my dad saying to me, okay, so if you're doing that, why are you getting so upset about it? And why I was so upset about it was there was a shift. The shift from my mind had shifted to my gut. You know, that feeling in your gut, there's one thing knowing it and thinking it and dreaming it and putting it out there. But then when you start to feel it in your gut, that's where my emotion was coming from. It was coming from a place of, I am certain about this. So we often hear the quote, and you hear Bob Parker use this quote very often in his presentations and business presentations for the business, you know, with us at big events. And it's this great Henry Ford quote, which is, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. You know, what is it that you are telling yourself? Are you telling yourself at the moment, I believe I can do this? Or are you telling yourself a whole host of reasons why you can't? And that was the shift. That was the shift. It was the shift of saying, I can do this. I believe I can do this. I may not be able to see and fully understand the finish line of 2014 and how I'm going to get out of my corporate job. But what I believe I can do is, I believe I can master being 4cc active. I believe I can master getting the next product launch in the diary. I believe I can muster up enough strength to push through that anxiety and manage that little mini panic attack and that little bit of discomfort because I'm around strangers, doing something on my own, feeling exposed, for the greater good of the vision that I had and what I wanted to create. So this morning, I'd love to share 8 ways that I believe we can all create more self-belief. And these really are things that I have used myself, I've used with people who I've coached and mentored over the years to build their business to a level where they're consistently earning a few £100s a month, or they made supervisor happen, or they went on to be a chairman's bonus qualifier, a sapphire manager. You know, it's the same principles. And the first one is, it starts with you. It starts with you. So as hard as this may sound, you know, the reality of the life we live today, what we have, the things we haven't got that make us sad, or how we feel about our life, the people in our life, what we do with our time. That is a direct result of the decisions and the actions that we have taken. And if life is not where we want it to be, or it's not where we expected it to be, then that's okay. But the quicker we can come to peace with where we are today and draw a line and say, okay, the things that I want to create from here on in, the way I want to feel in the future, the things I want to be celebrating or doing, that starts with us now. It starts with us taking ownership for where we are in our life, who we are. You know, if we need to, writing down on a piece of paper the things that make us happy, the things that make us sad, you know, the things that are in our lives that don't serve us, the things that we really want in the future, or the ways we want to feel. And we can very quickly get to a point of understanding where we are. And then that allows us to be much clearer about where we want to go. And we've all got our own story. You know, life throws each and every one of us opportunities and setbacks, or, you know, curveballs throughout life. It always does. It will in the future for each of us. You know, some of the curveballs that you've experienced, if you think back to your hardest moments, who helped you? You may have had people around you supporting you, or maybe you had to face some situations alone. But ultimately, any change or any saving of yourself or your situation, your circumstances, comes from you. It can only come from us. So when we want change and we want to be able to believe and be confident so that we can create change, sometimes it is just that acceptance of, this starts and ends with me. We only have one life. We only get one chance at this. So the more responsibility we can take for what we do, the more powerful our future is going to be. Now, the second is examining your limiting beliefs. You know, I remember back, it was about 18 months, 2 years ago, I remember saying to Gary about, God, I've got such a strong mind. I've got really, my perception of myself back 18 months, 24 months ago was, I've got a really strong mind. And he wasn't being negative when he said to me, okay, I'm not sure it's actually as rock solid as you're describing. And he wasn't being unkind when he said that. But we had this really honest discussion that didn't make me upset, but it really caused me to ponder on, what am I telling myself? How good is my own self-talk anchored around what I actually believe? And this is an area that I've worked on really hard, actually, for particularly the last 12 months. And I've been stunned by actually the things that I believed about myself. And I will share with you a little exercise that I've done as we move through this session, in case this is an area for you that you want to test in the same way that I did. Now, what we believe about ourselves, whether we like it or not, that becomes our life. You know, if we feel happy, sad, success, failure, then what we communicate with ourselves about that, the certainty in which we communicate that to ourselves, we believe that. When we start to believe something, we start to feel that, and that then becomes our life. So understanding what we believe is huge. You know, and I'll be honest in saying, I'd heard for a good 5 years as quite an experienced Sapphire manager in the business, the power of understanding your beliefs, but it hasn't really been until the last 12 months that I've really started to dig deep to understand this, to make some shifts. And of course, this then shapes self-talk. It's that moment, like I described at the beginning, of you telling yourself, I can do this, and then from nowhere, that person within you, that voice that you sometimes desperately try and bat away, is telling you something different, is chipping away, is maybe putting holes in the strength of what you were telling yourself. And how easily is it, or how easily do we talk ourselves out of something? You know, we were going to do it. I liken this a lot to running at the moment. You know, running and moving my body is something that I never ever used to be into. 18 months ago, I wouldn't have dreamt of putting trainers on and crossing the threshold of the front door to go out for a run. And if you were just to take going to the gym or getting out and moving your body as an example, you know, if we give ourselves too much time to think about that, how easy is it to talk yourself out of it because, oh, it looks like it's going to rain. Oh, well, have I really got time to do that because I'm meant to be on Zoom, you know, 45 minutes from now? Oh, well, maybe I could fit it in tomorrow. You know, you hear yourself doing it. I do this most mornings when I go out to move my body, and it always comes back to the same thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Those of you who follow Mel Robbins, you'll know what I'm talking about. Just do it, and don't give yourself time to think about it. So self-talk is a huge thing. And very often it's the time that we give ourselves to talk to ourselves, to wriggle out of what we need to do. And the lack of action that talks us out. Now, for you, what do you think about the law of attraction? How much does this feature in your life? You know, are you somebody who really believes in how I behave, what I believe, what I put out there, what I ask for will become my reality? So the law of attraction is a really important thing, because if you're putting out there after a one-to-one, or you're popping out messages, or you're doing phone calls to invite people to look at the opportunity, no one's going to join me, no one's going to join me, oh God, it's going to be another rejection. Do you think anybody's going to join you? Whereas if you're coming from a place of, yep, I can feel it this week, I know somewhere, you know, I was doing a coaching session last night with a couple of business owners who I work closely with, and one of them said, do you know, prospecting each week, it's just like thinking of a pack of cards. You know, 52 cards in a pack. Somewhere in that pack, there's going to be 4 aces. There's going to be 4 aces in there. And who knows, it might be we get the ace on card number 10. It might be we've got to keep going to card number 40, 49, 50, 51, and 52. And then we find the aces. And I thought that was a brilliant, brilliant analogy, because the mindset and the law of attraction of that approach versus, oh, I've got to number 48 and this clearly isn't working. It's what we put out, you know, it's what we put out. And again, the law of attraction, you know, division boards work. Yes, there is so much science out there that shows that if our mind can conceive something, we have got the power to believe it. And then what we believe absolutely shapes what we do and how we act. So the law of attraction is a huge, huge opportunity. Facing your fears. You know, we've all got them. We have all got them. What's your biggest fear? You know, have you had the courage yet to face it, to say it out loud? Is it a fear that you can manage on your own? Is it a fear where you need to confide in somebody for them to support you with it? Maybe it's about hooking up with somebody else who has had that same fear, who's pushed through it, where you can take the confidence to say, okay, they did this and I'm going to follow in their footsteps. The most common fears are often wrapped around rejection, success, failure, what people are going to think of us is the most common one. And why is it that we let the expectations and the perceptions of other people become the reality of what we do? So the quicker we can identify what we're fearing, which then causes us to procrastinate, to put the action off, the quicker we get to work with certainty and create what we absolutely deserve. Facing fears has been a huge thing for me. I honestly believe we're always facing some fear. And it, you know, and this is just my belief. I believe that fear is always going to be there in us. And actually, it can be a healthy thing if we learn how to manage it. But it's identifying which fears are derailing you, which fears, you know, and I remember Aidan O'Hare saying this to me around a fear I had. I remember him saying, look, Gemma, what are you sticking a Band-Aid over? You know, what are you choosing to conceal? When actually what you need to do is you need to rip that Band-Aid off and you need to face into it. Because until you face into it, you're never going to have control. And you're going to be controlled by a fear that is taking you off path. So I think for each and every one of us, we all carry some level of fear. But for some of us, there might be some deep-rooted things that are hard to face. It takes courage. We need to be kind to ourselves when we do that. We might need additional support. But the best bit of advice I could give around this is be brave and do it. Because often the fear and the lack of control we have around whatever it is we're fearing is not as bad as actually we think it is. And it's a very liberating thing to be able to have that sense of achievement around something that maybe makes you feel really scared or horrible. Number 6, creating your goals. You know, creating goals that mean something to you. We had a superb slot. I know I'm biased because she's one of my best friends, but we had a superb slot from Beth. And when I was reading all of the comments, what I was overwhelmed by was the number of comments that were really saying to Beth, you made it sound really simple. You've made this possible for me to find a way of progressing my business by taking quite a fun, simple concept that's not overwhelming and acting and making it work. You know, huge success in this business, a Sapphire manager pin, a Diamond manager pin, a chairman's bonus check, you know, the big things that you see on the marketing plan within Forever, they are created by the achievement of one tiny goal at a time. Almost so insignificant that it's hard to believe that the small goals could amount to something big. You know, Aidan and Greg on their video, they used American football as an example, and they were talking about, Aidan talked about, you've just got to keep inching and inching and inching forward. That's the notion of our whole business. So when we can create goals, and we can create goals that we're prepared to work for, but that are not too big. You know, I often say, again, when I'm coaching people directly, yes, dream big, but go small. And it's the series of going small that allows you to reach the higher and the big levels within your dreams. Number 7, never stop learning. You know, never stop learning. If you're listening into this, whether it's live or whether it's on replay, maybe this doesn't apply to you because you are investing your time in learning and development today. It's fascinating how the same material that you looked at or you watched or you absorbed years ago, how different that can make you feel, or its relevance can be totally different a few years later. Never stop learning by way of showing up to the BP, to listen in, because you might just hear one sentence, you know, one word that changes the connection to how you communicate with your prospects or customers, that makes you feel a certain way and confident, that potentially then gets you a totally different outcome in your business. That's how small a learn could be, but how valuable it could be at the same time. So whatever the learning is, whether it's reading from a book, whether it's listening to a podcast, whether it's doing more product launches each month so that you can keep learning as an entrepreneur, it's building this in to your plan to make it who you are, what you stand for. And the final bit of advice around building your self-confidence and the power of believing is always keep going. I think one of the hardest things we experience when we get to the manager level and beyond within Forever is we've been blessed to work with so many different people, everybody fantastic in their own way, because each and every one of us is unique and we all have our own story, our own strengths, our own needs. But so many people on that build to manager stop. They stop because they just didn't have enough conviction or enough discipline or belief to keep going. And if I think back to my journey to manager, my bonus recaps went a little bit like this. The January of 2014, when I was starting to say, right, let's work the First Steps to Manager book and make this work, when I mastered 4cc Active, the first team leading bonus as a supervisor was £147. The following month, it was something similar. It jumped up to 323. My first assistant manager paycheck, which was, you know, a business that was then in momentum, jumped from 323 up to 959. And do you know what my first bonus recap was as a manager? Now, this was with a couple of business owners in the team who were on the build to supervisor, assistant manager. It was £3,333. Now that was in the May of 2014 that I was paid that. In the January, my bonus recap was 147. And I was working really hard, putting in 100% of everything I had in the January. Imagine if I'd given up at 323 the following month because I thought it wasn't worth it. That's what so many people do. Don't be that person who gives up. Please don't be that person. If your dreams and what you feel is strong enough, then that is going to be strong enough to keep you going. There's no question that our business works, but it's working on ourselves all of the time and accepting that this is a daily, we're working daily on ourselves to stay connected to who we are, what we believe in. And, 2020 has been a year where you've either seen this year as a massive obstacle or you've seen it as an opportunity. The minute we went into lockdown, Gary was doing a training and, he used that. He said, look, in front of you, you've got an obstacle or you've got opportunity. What do you see? Because both are true. What are you going to tell yourself? What are you going to do? And so many business owners in Forever have seen 2020 as an opportunity. Keep going. Look at the things that matter to you and just keep going. Now, this belief cycle is a simple version of what is going on for each and every one of us every single day. And it only works if we fully understand how we fuel it and how we fuel ourselves. So let's just take this and test it. Belief supports action. So it's finding that belief in ourselves. It's taking some of those little top tips I've given. You don't need to take all 8, but which one or two did you really, really resonate to? Which ones do you know are your biggest opportunities or your biggest strengths to build on to keep your belief rock solid? So our belief supports the action we take. Now, belief on its own, believing I can, but then we don't do anything, we're never going to get the result if we don't act. And equally, if we do all sorts of action, and probably the best example I could think of is, let's say you worked really hard all day inviting people to look at the business, but you were inviting it with no heart, no soul, you didn't really believe it was going to work. Are you going to produce the result? Of course you're not. Hard work and action like that on its own is not enough. But when we couple our belief in what we believe in, what we're worth, what we're going to achieve, and then we take enough action to produce the results, we feel great. And then what happens? Well, those results reinforce our belief, and our belief gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And this is the cycle that builds momentum. This is the cycle that allows people to be unstoppable. You know, we see it so many times when a manager business is developed. You know, my belief is a manager business takes 12 weeks to build. But people have to decide for themselves, when are they going to work? Is it going to take them 4 years to get to that point of, I am ready to bring my 100% belief, the highest level of action, and I'm going to work this to get my outcome? We see some people coming into the business, they do that from the off, and that's why a quick manager business is developed. But at some point, it might be manager for you, it might be supervisor. Steph talked about, you know, the next move up level. Whatever it is for you, there is a moment where your brain says, I am certain now that this is what I'm going to do. And your brain can cope with it because you've removed all of the excess noise, all of the deliberations of should I, shouldn't I, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. You're certain what you're working for, what you're worth, you believe it, you act, and off we go. And you will feel unlimited and unstoppable. And this is here for each and every one of us. Now, I promised that I would share one exercise around limiting beliefs. Number 2 of my 8 top tips was mastering your limiting beliefs. This is an exercise that really helped me. And, you know, when I did it, it was actually the beginning of 2020. So it was when I was thinking about, right, what am I going to create in 2020? What do I need to work on for myself in terms of my own personal development? And I took a day out to do some personal development. And I asked myself, what were my limiting beliefs? And it was the first time I'd ever written down what I believed. And some examples would be, I'm too old. I'm not good enough. There's no way this will happen. Do you recognize any of these? Maybe there's some common ground. Maybe you tell yourself this too. I have no idea how to do this. I get like that when I have to write things down. Who am I to do this? Like, who do I think I am? So those would be some examples of limiting beliefs. But the quicker we can say, okay, if that's what we believe, how can we condition our mind to think something else? So these were the alternatives. Call it, think this, not that. I'm too old. Well, let's think about that. I've got years of experience to put to use. I'm not good enough. No, I deserve it. There's no way this will happen. Got nothing to lose by trying. It's going to happen to somebody. Why not me? I have no idea how to do this. Converted to, this is my opportunity to learn something new. And who am I to do this? And this is what I really believe in for you, as much as I believe in it for me. We've got an important story to tell because we're all unique. And it will impact the right people. Our focus does not have to be on inspiring hundreds and thousands of people. How great does it feel when we make one person and their day complete? How great does it feel if one person says to you, do you know, you made my day. Do you know, nobody's ever said that to me. Thank you. So let's stop worrying about going too big. Let's break this down. And who am I to do this? Well, let's start impacting people one person at a time. And let's start telling ourselves that we can do it one person at a time, because we might not, you know, be able to believe that we can all be the biggest superstar in the world. Maybe that's not what we want. But what we can do is we can use our strength and our story to impact one person at a time. So I'd love to end this session by saying, look, it's simple. We've got 76 days of opportunity ahead of us in 2020. That is a lot. That is a lot. You know, you might have been thinking, oh God, we're already in October and I haven't got what I want in 2020. Well, do you know, 76 days is enough time to end your year as you want to end it. 76 days is enough time to turbocharge and shift yourself or your business to wherever you want to be. Steph said it at the beginning, get clear on your goal. All right, help yourself get clear on what is the one thing you want to be celebrating at year end. What we know in Forever, because this is tried and tested, this isn't anything new from me, this is tried and tested. What you do October, November, December determines where you will be in the spring of 2021. Fact. So this is prime time. It's festive period. It's a great season for all of the reasons that you've seen today. Customers are going to be parting with those few £100s out of their purse to buy Christmas presents. The question I've got for you is, how much of that spending are you going to capture? Get clear on your goal, shift your business. If not now, when? What are you waiting for? Let's go. I wish you every success. I haven't got a Christmas jumper on, but I did say to Beth I'd share this. What I have got is I've got Christmas socks on. So from me to you this morning, I wish you every success this final quarter. Have a great Christmas and see you soon. Take care.
Thank you so much, Gemma. There was so much amazing content in there. I'm going to lose my voice again. Doesn't take much, does it? So we have a few questions, if you're okay to stay on just for a moment or two. So Gemma, do you recommend any books or podcasts?
Oh, yeah, I do. What I'd say is decide who is right for you. Okay, so before I'm going to make any recommendations, who is right for you? So rather than going after everybody, who is right? Do you respond better to males, females, network marketing, inspiration? My personal favorites, I love Tony Robbins, literally love that man. So I do listen to a lot of his work. I've started recently to listen to Joe Wicks's podcast. I think Joe Wicks, the body coach, is fabulous. And in addition to that, Tom Barrett. And there is a company training by Tom Barrett. Well, it's not a company, it's network marketing on Wednesday night. It's only 20 quid and he's doing 2.5 hours. I always listen to Dare to Dream, Work to Win as an audio CD. Brilliant.
Uh-huh. Excellent. And I think that's it for the questions. So we've heard from, I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've shared today. It was a great wrapping up of the whole few hours, I think. So we've had lots and lots of tips as to how to make the best out of the next 76 days, to be precise. Thank you, Gemma. And then obviously Gemma wrapping all of that up with, you know, how to get your mind in the right place and know that you absolutely deserve this and more. So We're just going to share a quick slide with you, which is the recognition event, which is on Tuesday, the 20th of October in the UK at 7 p.m. We'll be recognising all of the move-ups and incentives from September. We'll also be hearing from lots of the success stories and testimonials. So please do write down this link that you can see on the bottom of the screen. So it's flpuk.info/recognition webinar. You'll find that on the UK events page. As I said before, all of the recordings for this will be with you in the next week or so. It just takes a little bit of time to get it up onto Forever Knowledge. So if you've got team members that have missed today, obviously you will want to make sure that they don't miss out on the content and get that into their businesses. I want to thank all of the speakers. I want to thank everybody at head office that's had something to do with today's event. I've absolutely enjoyed it. It's been my pleasure to be MC for you today, and I wish you every success. Have an amazing weekend, everybody. Thank you. Bye.